Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. And Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there.
Sure. Yeah.
Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
Thumbtack presents the ins and outs for caring for your home. Out. Indecision, overthinking, second-guessing every choice you make. In. Plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out. Beige on beige on beige. In. Knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
This week, in Corcoran, Minnesota, an unusual relationship between mother and son results in a brutal crime and a clumsy effort to cover it up, and a life lesson worth remembering. The garbage disposal cannot solve all of your problems. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us this week on another absolutely insane edition of Small Town Murder. Right. It's been it's been wild lately, so if you've missed any episodes, I suggest catching up because it's been absolutely crazy. And we
hair raising,
and then hair losing and hair everything. It's been a disaster, all sorts of crazy stuff. So check that all out. And before we get into that, we have a deep one today. So we want to quickly up front, just if you have not done it yet, please, Apple Podcasts, the purple icon, they help a lot. We have no idea why, but give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Say anything you want. Yeah. Say what your favorite temperature is.
Oh.
That's what your ideal outside temperature is.
Outside or
outside?
Inside?
Outside.
Because inside 74.
Well, right? Outside I was going to say like 75. Inside. So I mean,
like 72 inside.
It's good there. So either way, it doesn't matter. You can do that.
We can argue about this.
Forever. Shut up and give me murder.com. Head over to there for everything crime and sports and small town murder. Crime and sports this week, an Olympic figure skater
Terrific.
And so it was a wild episode who turned into a home invading meth distributor, which no one would have thought of that.
No.
It's absolutely insane. So definitely check that out. Check out P.S. I Hate This Movie as well on Fridays, all that good stuff. And if you want to be a supporter of the show, and you know what, a hero to the show, as a matter of fact, and a producer, you'll have your name mispronounced by Jimmy at the end of the show, and you'll get access to all of our wonderful bonus material. Last week's bonus episode was for the Goodnight Sugar Babe documentary. Right. We talked about that in detail and just the weirdness that went on there. And for Crime and Sports, extra bonus episode for Patreon, we did a thing on Action Park and talked about that in detail, kind of the stuff that wasn't in the documentary from the book and, you know, firsthand knowledge of it and things like that. So really fun stuff on Patreon. Do that over at patreon.com/crime and sports. Do that. Or if you want to be a producer and just have your name mispronounced by Jimmy, and if you have an Italian name, you'll get a whole new one because he's terrible with those. So if you want to just do that, you can do that over at PayPal using our email address, which is crimeandsports@gmail.com. Quickly, disclaimer, this is a comedy show.
Right.
It really is. It's a comedy show, and it's not to make fun of murder. That's the thing. This is the way we process it. For us, it's easier to deal with dark stuff with some jokes. So that's what we do. And what we make sure we don't do is we don't make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why?
Because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags.
That's it.
That's how that works. And murder, they get it plenty.
Yeah.
That's how this works. Because we have no recourse. We're comedians. If some murder, what are we going to do about it? We can't do a thing about it except we can mock them unmercifully for a couple hours. That's something we can do, and let's do that today.
Great.
So if that sounds good to you, excellent, perfect. If not, I mean, honestly, if you don't ever want jokes and in your true crime, maybe this isn't for you.
It's possible.
But I would give it a shot anyway. Just don't complain later on that you were duped and it's horrible and all that sort of thing. They make jokes. Well, yes, we're telling you that up front.
Giving you fair warning.
And I think you should sit back, relax, and shout, shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmy.
All right.
Let's go on a trip.
Yes.
Let's go. We are coming from Missouri last week, where Jesus was apparently a lousy defense attorney. Yeah. But in the end, not a bad appeals lawyer.
It
worked out for this guy. So what are you going to do? This week, we're going up to Minnesota. I know we've been to Minnesota recently. It was probably 18 episodes ago, I think it was, St. Cloud, Minnesota. But there's so much, for some reason, I don't know what is going on in Minnesota. You people, I don't know if it's the snow, the cold, the niceness.
Right.
You just get inside and you snap and start killing each other, I think. I don't know what it is. But there's some wild stuff happening up there. And so we keep ending up back up there. And today we're in Corcoran, Minnesota, which is in southeastern Minnesota. It's a suburb of Minneapolis.
Okay.
So like last week, it was like an hour and a half from Minneapolis. Not last week. Last Minnesota episode was like an hour and a half from Minneapolis. This is about 30 minutes to downtown Minneapolis. So it's
just like
right out in the suburbs.
St. Cloud, Minneapolis, and that's about it, right?
There's some other stuff. Well, Minneapolis and St. Paul, and then there's, but up north it gets, up north it's tundra, basically. So I don't think there's a lot going on up there.
It's dicey in Minnesota.
It's dicey, yeah. You're going to get a few towns and a lot of tundra. So that's how that works. And this is about 4 hours down to Des Moines, Iowa. About an hour to St. Cloud, which was I think it was a teenage vampire cult issue, I think was in St. Cloud, this is in Hennepin County. The area code is 763. They have a motto right on their website there. And it's silly because it's right outside Minneapolis. Quote, a hidden gem waiting to be discovered.
It's not real hidden.
Not real hidden. Or maybe the second one kind of addresses that, actually. The second one, this one I really had to dig for. Quote, we've seen it, not that impressed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's the other one there. Now, history, one of, they have a story of like one of the first residents and how they made their way through town that I found. So we could tell history through this idiot. I don't know if he was an idiot, but we'll call him one here. Joseph Morin was born in Montreal in 1810.
It's close to moron.
It's close. That's what I mean. What am I supposed to do with that exactly? I'm only human. He went to Michigan in 1840 and then ended up working in the shipyards in Lake Superior. And then he got married in 1844, and he started from Minnesota in 1845 with a birch bark canoe, accompanied by his wife. following the Black River for 15 days in a birch bark canoe.
That's brave.
With his wife.
Yeah.
And also to just imagine the fighting in that thing.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay, imagine
Told you to make it out of maple.
I mean, just either way, gender's not important.
Yeah.
Two spouses in a birch bark canoe for 15 fucking days. At some point, are you sure this is the right way?
Right.
Are you positive? It's been 2 weeks, man.
You said that a week ago.
You said that shit a week ago. I know you said it would take a while, but this fucking long?
And it's not.
Come on.
You did not say made of birch. You said birch bark.
I thought,
what, you just like husked a tree?
I thought that was just a finish, like a, it's a color.
That's the wrapping.
It's a nice color, a finish, maybe the whatever epoxy you're going to put on the outside. This is bullshit. I'm angry. So that would be just fighting. So they ended up. They also had a few other things packed in the canoe. So every night they'd have to get out of that thing, pull all the shit off. What a nightmare. So they ended up went to the St. Croix River, which they reached in a day, and they followed it to the Mississippi River, then to St. Paul, where they were there for 11 years, and then moved to Corcoran in 1856, built a home, and had 11 children.
Sweet fuck.
Yeah, 11, which was like normal back. Just pump them out, which is wild. Half of them are going to die, so... Half of them are going to die before they're 7, so you got to have a lot just in case.
Oh, that's a lot of pent-up frustration all the time.
It's worse than the canoe trip.
Loose.
Can you imagine, too, though? You have 11 kids because you figure on half of them dying back then, and then none of them die, and now you have 11 kids. You're like, you and your wife are sitting in bed one night, and you're like,
listen. on having 3.
Listen, Betty, I'm not. Don't take this the wrong way. And I'm not a bad guy, and I really do love the children, but I didn't think all 11 of them would live. I really didn't. I'm going to be honest with you.
Can you believe they made it?
They made it. I'm thinking maybe a trip out into the wilderness, and we come home with like 6, 7 of them. What do you say? I don't know.
I thought all of our good luck was used when we floated for 14 fucking days.
Nope.
on a tree husk.
And it made it
and somehow these kids keep just living.
They keep living. Just keep breathing in and out. I'll go over. I'll look at them while they sleep sometimes, and in and out. There it goes. Never stops. Never fucking stops. The town was settled in 1855. So this guy, the Morin guy, had moved there like a year later. It was organized in 1858. City was named after Patrick B. Corcoran, who was the first school teacher, merchant, and postmaster of the town, which seems like too many jobs.
Same name as the prison, too.
Yeah, Corcoran, yeah. But how many jobs do you have? School teacher, so that takes up your whole day.
Right.
I don't know if
you still got time to deliver shit?
You're a merchant, so I don't know how you sell shit while you're teaching school. Hold on, kids. Wait a second. 8 plus 4. Wait a second. If you want that in a size 12.
Right.
Johnny, hold on 1 second with your question about algebra. I got this guy on the line for a pair of wading boots, so I really got a lot going on.
Unless he's a merchant of education and he sells that shit.
Oh shit! You want stamps too? Fuck! Jesus Christ!
12 plus 12. That'll be $5. Is what that'll be.
Kids, did you hear that? That's your lesson in math today. He just mixes it all in one. Very talented man. You were saying maybe he's a merchant, like he's selling his he's selling
shit. Yeah,
I'll tell your kid.
Yeah,
the answer to these questions for $5
or a blowjob, whatever you want
from the kid. Not from you, from the kid. Disgusting. So the first school was a 12 by 16 log house.
Yeesh.
Yay. And it was built by Corcoran there. He was the first schoolmaster. It was built in the winter of 1857, and his first class had 16 kids in it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, you could cram them in there. You could
12 by 15?
12 by 16.
12 by 16, that's small.
That's a shitload of kids in there, yeah. If you think about it, by 16.
Right.
That's one kid per foot. And,
you got no room. Don't you fucking move.
No. And then and then also, too, he's got all his racks with his, Slim Jims and beef jerkies and all the impulse buy shit up by the counter. It's a lot going on.
The tiny flashlight / screwdriver.
And then the P.O. boxes are on one wall, so you got to leave room for those people to come in. It's really complicated.
This is busy.
It's busy. So, then he opened a general store, which started in a log house again. It was on the west side of town. This guy was originally from Ireland and moved to the U.S. in 1847.
Christ.
Moved here and said, let's set up shop. It's just cold enough for me.
Deal with this fucking accent, too.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Wow, I thought people talked crazy in Ireland, but wow, this is This accent is wild. Have you heard these? This is wild. He's telling his wife and shit. He's like, wow. So it was incorporated in 1948, finally. Incorporated officially as a town. Took 100 years
ago.
Yeah, it took almost 70 years ago. It was ranked by niche.com. It is ranked in the list of best places to raise a family.
Oh.
It is number 4,330. So I don't even know why you go that deep into the list, really. At that
why
point,
not stop after 25?
At that,
Nobody gives a shit
at
after
that point, the list is the other way.
Right.
You're going down.
Right.
It's there's not 5,000 good places.
It's one of the worst.
No, it's just bad. Terrible. So the reviews of this town, people seem to enjoy it. They seem to like it here. And I don't know. I found reviews, and they're all pretty positive. Here's a 5-star review. I mean, and it's basic. They all say the same thing. Quote, I really like Corcoran. It's small compared to the other cities around it, but the people are nice here. So, I mean, that's good.
Did he write that about Corcoran, the town, or about the prison? Because it's the same thing.
Either one, or just the state of Minnesota.
It's small here, but the people are generally nice. They leave me alone.
That's pretty much anywhere in Minnesota you go. I mean, it feels small. Even Minneapolis, you're like, it's small for like a major city, but the people are so damn nice. It's just, okay, they're just nice people.
Yeah.
So I found a 4-star here. Just a little... Not completely satisfied with this experience. Quote, it's a great place to live, but since there isn't much to do that is super close, you have to find things to do yourself, which isn't necessarily bad.
No.
That's you live in a small town, that's called. That's called a small town.
Use your imagination.
Yeah, if there was more stuff to do, more people would be there, and it wouldn't be a small town. That's kind of how it fucking works in terms of everything. And here's a 3-star. This is the worst one I could find. They are... not completely satisfied here. Quote, I love the small town feeling Corcoran has. We don't have the urgent need to develop here because everything you could ask for is right next door in Maple Grove.
Oh.
Thank fuck for that. I mean, we all need a Maple Grove by us. This allows us to have a good relationship with our neighboring city and sustain our way of community, as well as keeping farms open and less land developed. I love the opportunities that are provided for the community to get together, such as our Hobby Beekeeping Association and our Summer Kids Soccer Program.
People fuck with bees for fun?
As a hobby.
No.
Well, I mean, that's something I feel like you need to know how to do.
Yeah.
It's not a hobby.
No.
You know, fuck, that's like, I'm going to train and do this. That's like electricity.
I don't want any,
Nobody's a hobbyist electrician because you'll get killed. It's not safe.
First-hand knowledge, I'll tell you what, if there are bees in some sort of electric box, we don't go anywhere fucking near it.
Is that the that's probably that's the most horrifying thing in the world.
Oh, God, Jesus.
I don't know what would be more horrifying.
Bees in a
guy popping out going like, hey, wait, you got like a light from a meth pipe?
Right.
That'd be the only bees, electricity, and like, some guy with
like a rusty
open sores.
The rust on the end of his fucking needle.
Got a light, man. Coming at you, squirting blood out of a fucking hypodermic. That's worse than the bees in the fucking 220 voltage in there. Jesus Christ.
Bees are horrifying. I don't want anything to do with that shit.
Fuck no, they're scary. You can't reason with them.
No.
They don't even fly straight. They're in all these different... Jesus Christ, I can't even... Like a dog doesn't do that. A dog comes at you. They don't coordinate with
their friends and be like, you get the front, I'll get the back. They just all go crazy.
Yeah, you don't know what to do.
Fucking nuts.
No reasoning. You can't offer them a treat and just nothing. So, population of this town, it grew a lot from... It stayed the same for 100 years. Just 1,500 people about. And then more than doubled between 1970 and 1980 when people were fleeing Minneapolis. I don't know why, but it seems fine now. I can't imagine it was worse then. But either way, people now, 5,671 people now. So still not even 6,000 people. Not bad at all.
Good size.
It's not a big town. Up 9% since 1990, so it's been growing. More males than females here, which is kind of the opposite. Median age is slightly older, 43 and a half years old. A lot of people that are 45 to 54, and a lot of kids.
Really?
So it seems like people moved there when they were 35 and had kids, and now they live there with the 12-year-old kid. That seems to be from the stats. And old people. They don't leave. They die there. So there's a lot of like 65 plus also. So the marriage rate is way higher here. This is like a kind of a family kind of town from what I can gather. Statistically anyway. It's usually 50-50 on the married. Here it's 68%.
Good Lord.
That's a shitload of, I mean, So a good amount of people are unhappy here. And I know that's not a marriage joke saying 68% are unhappy, but at least half of those people aren't happy.
Gotta be, right?
So that's what I mean. So you figure that's a lot, man. How many 34% of the population is walking around muttering.
How many relationships you ever seen where both of them are like thrilled?
That's what I mean.
It's very rare.
34% of the population at least is walking around going, I can't believe he fucking did that. This goddamn fucking ass every goddamn day with this shit. Oh, I need you there. Well, of course, because I fucking not like your mother doesn't fucking do that. 34% of the population. Right. Maybe this is not a safe town. Who knows? So a lot more married with kids are here. That's kind of standard, I guess, with the marriage, and so it kind of goes like that. Less single people, more married people. Race of this town. Pretty white, let's be honest here. 89% white. Yeah. It's Minnesota. 0.2% black. That is very, very little black people here. 4.3% Asian, which is almost the national average, which Minneapolis is chock full of Asian people. A lot of Asian people there. They're doing well there. 5.6% Hispanic. So it's pretty white. And I found where it's broken down into the whiteness. Yeah. And so 36% of the people here are German.
Oh,
15,
boy.
Yeah, 15% are Norwegian, 8% Swedish, 7% Irish. So
like the whitest.
These are blonde people that are working. These are blonde farm people with childbearing hips is what we're looking at here. So 55% of the people here are religious. But it's mainly kind of Catholic, Lutheran. It's a little mixture. Okay. Lutherans, Catholic is actually the most with 19%, and then Lutheran with 14%, and 1.5% Jewish.
What?
Oh my God! Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila. I don't know the words. Hey, yay! We haven't been able to.
I watched Wedding Crashers, and they sing that in the movie, and I had the
weddings. And
I had the subtitles on, obviously, because they do that like a fucking psycho. And I was like, I'm gonna learn these words. They don't even do them. They don't even.
They just have little like music notes.
It says Hava Nagila, and that's it.
And music notes and around.
They know as much as you know.
See, I'm trying, guys. I don't know. So 63% politics here. This is in the whole county. That not really representative. Is more of a conservative town, but the county was 63% Democrat because Minneapolis is there. So it's a difference of city there. 28% Republican, almost 9% Independent, which is a lot. Unemployment rate is low, but we don't really know what it is at the moment. But before everything went crazy this year, it was 3.2%. Median household income here is excellent. Usually it's about $57,000 in the rest of the country. Here, $102,708.
Holy Christ!
Is the median household.
That's amazing.
That's great. Its cost of living's a little bit high, but there's a lot of manufacturing and construction going on. They must be well-paying jobs here. Like all of the over $75,000 a year demographics are high. Over $200,000 a year is like double the amount of people make that than normally. So
Minnesotans do well, man.
They're doing well up there, it seems like, from at least this place.
Anybody that I've ever known that lived in Minnesota was doing very well.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've known a couple of snowbirds that have houses here too. They have multiple fucking houses.
There's a lot of Minnesota plates.
That's crazy.
Driving too slow down the freeway in the wrong lane here. Trust me.
Right around November.
Yeah, driving in the left lane, 48 miles an hour. Get the fuck out of the fucking road. I'm going to kill you.
The sign you just passed said 65. How are you still doing this to
idiot, you pasty asshole. When we're in Minnesota, they're great. But then when they come here, they're like, no.
Go back and be great.
You don't belong in the sun, okay? You're not allowed to just go back. Just come for spring training or something and then leave, like the Chicago people. So, the median or the cost of living here, 100 is regular average. Here it's 118. So it's a little bit high, and that is mostly housing, which is a 152.
Oh, shit.
So, median home cost here, $352,600.
Oh, my.
So that is pricey.
$300,000.
That's a little bit pricey, I would say, for the housing. Everything else is pretty average, except for healthcare, which is low. Cost of that. But if maybe you need to go to Minnesota and take in the cold and take a deep breath and some Arctic air, we have for you the Corcoran, Minnesota Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here goes for about $1,660, which is kind of on par with the housing cost.
It's a smidge steep.
It is. In the houses, it's really hard to find. There's no, like, trash house. I couldn't find any like, oh, that house is a piece of shit, so it's a $110,000 here. That really doesn't exist. It's all pretty nice. I found a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,014 square foot house. It's nice. It's a nice family house. Decent. I mean, 2,000 square feet's good, but not. It's big, but it's not like a mansion or anything. $309,900 for that, though. So you're gonna pay for it. I found a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, so same as the first, 3,130 square feet, so about 1,000 square feet more. Really nice, big yard. Woods behind it. Looks like a nice place. The kids run around on the lawn. $475,000 though.
Shit.
I was like, holy shit, that's pricey. And then I found a 4-bedroom, 6-bath, T-bowl for every beehole.
Hell yeah.
God damn it. 4,840 square foot. Beautiful.
Wow.
The back of the house is gorgeous. It's got this beautiful pool with a big water slide that goes in. It's fucking
in Minnesota.
So I don't know, you can use it for like a week. 10 days
they got
maybe.
So much money they don't give a shit.
Yeah, those 10 days you can use it though. I'm telling you,
boy.
gorgeous. $830,000.
Shit.
So look out for that. It's a little pricey there.
You better heat that pool.
Maybe they do. I would assume a lot of the pools there here, because otherwise, literally, you're using it a week a year.
What the fuck are you doing?
It's going to be real cold the rest of the time.
That is just showing your dick to your neighbor. That's what that is. I got so much money. This doesn't fucking matter. I will piss this money away.
Yeah, Jesus. Things to do in this town. There's a couple of things. One of them you're really going to enjoy. Well, the first one you might like too. Corcoran Country Days, DAZE.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Hosted by the Northwest Area JCs in the city of Corcoran.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, yeah. Softball tournament. Oh, come on, Jimmy. You don't want to have a softball tournament? A bags tournament?
Oh, cornhole.
Is that cornhole?
Yeah.
I figured that was cornhole.
Of course it is.
Bags. Okay.
It's everything drinking, because
I was going to say these are things you can
love
do drunk.
Drinking beer.
If they could figure out how to bowl outside, they would. That would be a part of it. They're like, fuck.
Bocce ball.
It's during the summer. We don't want to do it inside. Why don't we do this shit?
You don't have any Italian friends teaching bocce ball?
No, bocce ball. Maybe we could play some horseshoes out here. Maybe something. I don't know. You could get shit faced with horseshoes, right?
It's everything drinking.
That's what it is. No, it's seriously. They ought to have a good time up there. And they say that Corcoran Country Days was born and has become something to celebrate our great rural yet suburban community. Oh yeah, we've welcomed such acts to the big stage as Chase Roberts, Jonah and the Whales, and the Killer Hayseeds.
Wait, that's not who I thought it was.
I don't think it is. Probably not.
No, that's a religious band.
I was going to say, I don't know. We mix bands up all the time, or you'll be like, yeah, no, there they do this.
I was thinking
no.
Judah and the Lion.
There you go. So those are
not close.
Probably different. I was thinking Jeremiah and the Bullfrogs, but I was off on that.
Jonah and the Whales. Fucking asshole.
He's like, oh yeah, saw them at Lollapalooza in '99. So,
open for Incubus.
No, they're fucking great. I left after their set. I was like, fuck it.
What's Incubus going to do after that?
Mic drop.
That was
amazing. I'm done. I'm out. So, many other local bands have come to provide free music to the community. In other words, people will go spend their Saturday for free playing to a bunch of old people playing softball. And
maybe somebody will be there. Maybe there's a producer.
Oh, yeah.
They'll play it.
Walking down Country Road, in quotes, visitors see the many vendors, police, fire, rescue displays, and kids' activities that are part of the free Family Day event Saturday. From the free rock climbing wall, free is always in caps, by the way.
We aren't robbing you.
No, free rock climbing wall to the Build a Birdhouse.
What?
That's a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
Come on, kids, let's build a birdhouse. For what?
Get to work, fucker.
From the moon bounce to the tractor displays. Oh, look at that tractor, kids. Yeah. There's something for everyone, except me. I heard nothing for me. Did you hear anything for you? I heard nothing for me.
There was very little for me.
Very little for me. Oh, wait, there's other activities. Hold on. Maybe these are for us, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Other activities range from hay rides and trauma helicopter fly-ins.
What?
That's not fun. Hey, kids, look at the fucking chopper with the back brace and the fucking and the life-saving equipment on board. Wow, look at that. Oh, look, the paddles, kids. See, when they jump, that's their heart reacting.
In my head, I was like, are they going to land with like 6 kids that have just been molested for the last 12 years by their dad?
That's what they do. Hey, kids, go play.
Look at their trauma.
They drop them off. It's another trauma shipment. They just drop some fucked up kids off.
That's a different level of trauma.
Adults that are depressed and haven't worked through it, they just get off kind of, I don't know. I guess I'll play some bags. That's cool. Yeah, give me a beer.
Beer changes everything.
That's fine. Poor kids. There's counselors there. It's very different. And Wild West demonstrations and craft shows.
Oh.
So Wild West, I don't know why you do that in Minnesota. Is it the Wild West?
No, not necessarily.
No, I get out here if people wanted to do that crap in Arizona, but not.
Do people back east think that just west of the Mississippi is the Wild West?
Not that I know of.
Is that the thing?
Not that I know of.
Because if so, then Minnesota is. But
on the East Coast, it's basically like there's the East Coast, and then Arkansas,
and then the Wild West,
and then the Pacific Ocean. That's how the East Coast. We don't think of. They don't even think of those states to even consider them of the wild. Well, what is in there? I don't know. Who cares?
We've seen the decline all the way to Arkansas. We just assume it gets worse.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. If people back east are like very wherever they are centric too. Like, well, where's that? I don't care. It's not great. Now, Friday and Saturday tickets on sale for this were $35 for general admission.
Okay.
$90 for VIP.
Okay, stop it.
That's a little much. $10 for parking. I think VIP includes parking.
Better.
VIP to include 5 drink tickets.
All
okay,
right.
Now we're talking. Unlimited food.
All right.
You get shit-faced and eat.
That's $90 already.
Throwing up all over the place. VIP tent by the stage and parking included. So that's the way to go, it seems like. Now, the lineup for the Friday, I think this was 2019's show because it's canceled or it's virtual this year or some shit, is the Church of Cash at 6 p.m. I don't know who that is.
That's every church.
Yeah, it is. I feel like that's one of those like country bands that thinks they're cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like dark country.
Right.
Yeah.
We play Johnny Cash only.
That's it. Only Johnny Cash. That's probably what it is. It's probably a Johnny Cash cover band. Church of Cash.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And then it's got double meaning.
Yeah.
Canaan Smith. Canaan Smith.
Canaan Smith.
Canaan Smith.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter because they're only warming up for the 10 p.m. act. The nitty gritty dirt band is in town.
Get out here!
Yeah, at least 2 of them are still alive, I'm sure, and that's going to be great. And they're going to get out there. Nobody knows the damn difference.
Fishing in the dark. Play it on loop. I don't care.
I do not know. I know. I've heard of the nitty gritty dirt band as like a punchline of but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's them.
No clue.
And me on fishing in the dark, wine on our backs. Is that them? I think so.
I don't know. I don't know.
Cool grass.
I don't know hillbilly culture. I'm very not up to my speed on it.
I'm pretty sure that's them. I'll Google it.
Well, we'll do it. We'll do it later. It's so either way. Here's the second event for you, Jimmy.
Okay.
And I think this is the one you're going to be into. The Sholak Breast Fest Music Festival.
Hell yeah!
I thought you'd be into that. Join us for Breast Fest.
All right.
The annual event consists of 8 hours of live music from local Minnesota bands and even some from this area themselves. You will be sure to have a great time with the whole family or coming by yourself.
You're damn right I will.
Attire is picnic casual. Yeah, no, this is for breast cancer money. That's I was going to wait till we got to that point, and I'm like, how many more inappropriate tit jokes is Jimmy going to make before I get to that part, and then he's going to feel bad.
Listen, I donate every time I can to that shit.
Well, there's an inflatable bounce house, which
save them.
You were like,
keep them bouncing.
That's what. You're like, okay, all right. It's when I saw that coming up, I'm like, I got to say this before I get to the inflatable bounce house, or it's going to get gross here. Gotta say it before I get there. Crime rate in this town. Yeah. What we're interested in here, obviously, is property crime is about 1/3 of the national average, so pretty damn low. And then violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and of course assault. The Mount Rushmore of crime is under 1/3 the average. Oh. So excessively nonviolent here, apparently. Not a lot going on. I don't know if the big yards are preventing these people from killing each other or what here.
You hear some nitty-gritty dirt band, you don't want to do anything
That's
bad.
What I'm saying. You're like, hey, you know what?
Calm right the fuck down.
I was listening. I got angry, but then that nitty-gritty started playing, and I was like, yeah.
Nitty-gritty.
The nitty-to-gritty. That's what they call them. Nitty-to-gritty. Because they don't want to say the whole dirt band. So either that or just be like, I'm listening to the dirt band. And You know them dirt band boys. They make you.
You don't really got to say the nitty gritty.
That's right. This is a dirt band. No other dirt bands out there, ain't there? That's right. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Now, for this murder, we got to go back in time a little bit. We're going to go back to 1980, which is back in time pretty far, but still in modern times, you would say. Anything where the pictures are in color is modern times. I'm gonna go with.
Yeah.
You picture
the weird pictures, though.
Yeah, anything like mid-'60s back is like, okay, that's like all black and white. And
right.
People have like beehive hairdos and shit.
And the 70s had like a sun glisten in the picture.
Everything was like weird. A weird sun-soaked sepia.
Yeah, orange hue to everything.
Well, everybody was just wearing orange or avocado or like, what was that one color, like rotten lemon that everyone had in their kitchen? Like, hey, look at that, rotten lemon kitchen. I love that.
Harvest Gold? That's what they call it?
Harvest Gold or rotten lemon. As I call it. It's what it looks like. As a kid, I used to think that a rotten lemon when people
thrown that out.
Still have that 70s shit, or the avocado green refrigerators.
And brown.
Terrible. Oh,
dark
brown.
Fucking brown.
So much, brown, yellow, and green are all they go. That was the color palette of the 70s for some reason.
My mom's house was built in the 70s. Everything in her house is modern, except her bathroom and the master bed. Yeah. And everything's brown. Mom, you got to do something about this.
You got to change this.
Nobody sees it but me. It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't matter.
All right, well, you got a brown toilet bowl. That's weird.
Yeah, when you stroke out or something, they come get you. They're going to come into the house. Hey, it's not a bad house. Jesus Christ.
Fuck?
What the fuck happened in here? No, gotta help her. But wow.
Just don't look at the bathroom. You won't want to help her.
Not good in there.
That bathroom says DNR. That's what that bathroom says.
She fucking deserves it. We're leaving. Leave her here. No, leave her on the bathroom floor.
You started compression. Did you see her bathroom? Her bathroom is a DNR.
It's a cry for help,
right
everybody.
There.
We're leaving.
For sure.
1980, we got to talk about a couple of people. They're a couple of people. They're a married couple named David Hoffman, and his wife is it's David Francis Hoffman, and his wife is Carol Hoffman, maiden name Stebbins. So Carol Stebbins Hoffman, for all intents and purposes here. Now, David, talk about a little bit about him first off. David is just kind of a simple guy from the area. Never really has any problems, doesn't get in any trouble or anything like that. He seems... I mean, he's not dumb, or he's not like, there's nothing wrong with him, but he just seems like kind of a simple guy. It's just kind of the way he is. He's from St. Paul. He's born in 1946, so 1980, he's going to be 34 years old. He attended North High School in St. Paul, Minnesota. He lives with his parents, and this was in North Minneapolis, and he lived right next door to the Stebbins family.
Got it.
That were right next door, and he meets their daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, not bad.
You got the literal girl next door.
The girl next door. Problem is, he is 22, and she is 15.
Oh, you can't do that, David.
No, that's called, I'm going to go next door and kick the shit out of the neighbor boy for talking to our sophomore daughter.
Right.
I'm going to go, oh, where are you going, honey? Oh, just to go beat the shit out of our neighbor's kid. That's all. I'd kick the father's ass for that even. I might smack the mom around, and I'm never for that. And I might just go, I swear to God, lady, I will give you the back of my hand along with your husband.
Yeah.
If your fucking adult can get into bars kid keeps talking to my goddamn 9th grade or 10th grade daughter who's got literally English homework to do. Right. We can't have this shit. No. But the parents were not great about it, but he was a really nice kid, and he's the kid next door. So, like, they know him. He's not some kid that they pulls off in his Trans Am,
Still fucking weird.
Blasting his REO Speedwagon out the... I'm trying to think of 1980 shit.
The cloud of cigarette smoke.
Peeling out at the end of the street. Like, they know him. He lives right there, so you can see him if you really want to keep an eye on him.
Right.
You can look in his window if you want to be a creep. See what he's up. I want to see how many times a day he's whacking it in there. He's going to be around my daughter.
It's not for me. It's kind of for me.
I mean,
just for my information.
Yeah,
it's not for me.
See how he does it. Right. Just
new techniques.
How long it takes. You never know. You pick things up. That's all I'm saying. You pick things up, and I haven't been to the Y in a while, so I'm going to try it here. So he's the parents are not thrilled with this. They were talking about marriage when she was 15 years old, Carol.
What the shit?
So, yeah, this is 1980, not 1890. Mm-hmm. So it's, a little bit different. If it was 1890, we might be thinking, oh, yeah, let's get it on. But 15, they want her to go to college and do all that stuff. So it's a little bit odd here, but the father says, her father says, quote, naturally, I tried to talk her out of it. He was 7 years older, but after 2 years, she still loved him. So we signed the papers. That was when she was 17 years old. They were married on December 24th, 1970. Christmas Eve. She's 17. The parents decide to give in, sign the papers. Cause I guess that's one of those things when they just get together and she says she's in love and wants to marry the guy when she's 15. It's like, Jesus Christ. Right. But after 2 years of, and especially if they live next door, they're going to be constantly together. They're going to seem like a married couple anyway, which is
she's
not really.
Fallen in love and out of love with at least 4 different celebrities by now.
Yeah.
And she still likes him, I suppose.
Yeah, this isn't going to stop anyway, so we might as well let them get married.
You've got that choice, too.
Yeah.
Am I going to fuck her up and she's going to run away with this guy?
Exactly.
Because never going to see her again? Or do I let her make a mistake and call it good?
And at least they're in range and we can keep an eye and we can help out. And so, I think that, and from what I can understand, the Stebbins family here cares a lot about Carol, and they're nice people, and they are, they seem to be nice, accepting, like forgiving, kind people.
Hopeful.
So hopeful, kind. They seem like good people. Like you'd want to live next door to these people, and just avoid their 15-year-old daughter, please, in the future.
Yeah.
So they said they were married at first, and everything seemed to be going well.
Yeah.
Which is good because you don't know what's going to happen if you. 17, it's she's in high school. It's a different kind of relationship to being married.
I can't imagine.
Imagine being married in like the 11th grade.
Or then.
Imagine being married.
Yeah. No.
There, it's 11. Yeah, 11th. Like, that's wild.
I can't imagine. Being in high school and talking to a friend and being like, I'm going to go do this after school. And he's like, I got to talk to the wife. What? You got a what?
Wife? Yeah, because like when I was in high school, like you go out with a girl for like a couple of weeks or something. I'd just be like, I don't like her anymore. Right. That's how I used to do. And I'd just be like, I don't know. And it wasn't like I liked anybody else better. Just be like, I'm not feeling it anymore. I don't really like her. Yeah, I don't know. I thought she was cool, but now she's kind of annoying. Or now, I don't know. We don't really get along. She doesn't like to do the same things I like to do.
She farted in front of me.
I would lose interest in people quick in high school. So to be like, this is it forever in high school. Yeah. No, I don't want to.
I can't imagine spending the rest of my life with anybody that I went to high school with.
No, you wanted to get away from those people to find better people to spend the rest of your life with. That's what. Can't wait to get away from you fucking losers so I can find.
Can't fathom going back to a reunion. I cannot wrap my head around that being an idea that sounds great.
Oh, they want you to.
People love it.
I don't get it. I remember getting a notification for mine, and I'm like,
ew.
Wow, no. And they were like trying to organize it.
Yeah.
And they were going like they were working hard, man. They were like
messaging on Facebook. Because
there's no school shit involved. This is just people organize. We're going to rent a thing. And
right.
We're going to rent a
school
building.
Has nothing to do with this anymore.
What are we talking about?
This is somebody I went to high school that has so little to do with their life that she wants to email people.
No, we haven't spoken in 15 years.
Hey, remember me?
Yeah, no.
Barely?
Yeah, sort of.
I think I said something mean to you a couple times.
I'm sure I did. Yeah, I'm positive I did. Anyone within arm's reach, I would have probably said something mean to back then in a joking way, but I don't know if I had it coned in quite the same back then. It's probably shooting from the hip a little more with the insults, but it's always somebody that's I barely remember. Right. They were like in my English class in the 11th grade, and now they're organizing a thing, and they're taking like they want you to pay like $120,
right,
so they can put the deposit down on the fucking hall for the
quote unquote venue.
Yeah, and I'm like, who's coming to this?
Right.
Nobody I knew or hung out with would go to this, and if they did, I just feel bad for them, and I don't want to see them probably because their life has not turned out well because I chose friends poorly back then. I did. Not all of them, but most of them.
It might not even be your fault either because the pool you had to choose from was probably pretty shitty too.
That's who was around, but I like people who are. I like me. Yeah. I surround myself with weirdos always. I have a. They're weirdos. I don't know what it is. You know this too. Like you've seen it. I'm a Pied Piper of fucking weirdos. And I'll have like this group around me of like these disparate parts that don't go, these fucking lost toys that all end up, that's how I end up forming a group of friends with. Because I find them interesting. Yeah. I find damaged people interesting.
Yeah, things to talk about.
Yeah.
and they're willing to make a life experience that maybe isn't flattering for them later, that you can make fun of them for.
That's the thing, and they have different, like someone who's a little off has a different take on some shit. Right. And, a broken clock is right twice a day, so every once in a while they'll say something and you'll go, wow, wouldn't have heard that from anybody else. Right. And it's fucking interesting. I'd rather do that than just have a bunch of people around that all say the same thing,
This chick that went to nursing school and has it all figured out except a husband, and she wants to talk to me about what's been happening in my life. She's not yours. That's what's been happening.
Also wants to know if maybe anybody would be interested in possibly her whatever the fuck multi-level marketing thing she's got going on there as well.
Smell this candle.
By the way,
doesn't it smell exactly like CK1?
This, yeah.
Well, if I wanted that, wouldn't I fucking
doesn't this smell like high school?
Right.
Come to the reunion and buy this candle.
Does it smell like cucumber melon? Yeah. Fuck you.
So,
get away from me.
Yeah. So somehow these two got along. Carol and David. I don't know how. Everybody said it was everybody was fine. Yeah. There's a good things are happening. They have a couple of children. Wow. They have 1971. They have their first child. Okay. So, right away, if they got married in 70, I don't know if that was the reason for the marriage or if they just got right into it right away. Either way, it doesn't matter. They have a daughter in 1971 and then another in 1977. Okay. So they end up with two daughters, and things are going well. When about 1978, they have a fight, and this was kind of their only big dust up. Oh. And all marriages have these. Like, I left for a day, and this one, that shit happens. She took the child. This was, I think, before the second daughter was born. So it was like 77. She took the child and left for 2 days, and that was it. Yeah. She came back. They made up.
Okay.
End of story. Yeah. Had another kid, and here they are in 1980. Right. Everything's fine. So normal marriage. And especially if you got together when you're that young, if you've only had one big blow up that caused a 2-day thing, that's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
Most people are long divorced by then. Jesus. If they got married when they were 17. They're long divorced if they've already killed each other. Yeah. There's,
I left the house twice before we finally got a divorce, but we didn't have any kids after that.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I moved out, there was no more kids.
Yeah, my first marriage, there was quite a few of those. I was.
Where you left and came back, and
there was
kids?
Quite a few of those. Yeah, it was in between, one after.
Oh, no.
I don't know. It happened so often. Who knows? But it happened here and then. It happened now.
Enough.
Happened now and then. Yeah. So I get this. This is normal. So for them to only do it once, I'm like, pretty impressive.
It is.
With the pressure of children and everything else and a young life trying to make a living.
Right.
That's difficult. So now here's Carol's father talking about Carol here, saying that she was happy in the marriage from what he said. He said that if she wasn't happy, she certainly would have shown it and told them and told anyone who wanted to ask. Yeah. He said, quote, that she was full of vinegar.
Oh.
So I assume the paper left out the piss end part.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's not one to take shit.
She's a strong girl.
Yeah, she's strong. Yeah. She's not one to take it and go mope off somewhere. She will give it right back. Good. And so good for her. And he said, quote, she was happy-go-lucky. She'd work 10, 11 hours and then come home and take care of the kids, make dinner, and throw in the laundry. She loved her husband. So
she knew she wanted this when she was 15? She's amazing.
Yeah, she dove right in. Yeah, she was fine with her life, and he said she kind of took care of everything. She worked a full day, overtime sometimes, and still kept the house up, which is like, wow, I don't know.
They don't make these anymore.
They don't make people like that anymore, like at all. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing while this was happening. Right. Why couldn't he? I don't know. I don't know if he's working 12, 13, 14 hours a day.
He
but
better be working doubles, man.
Yeah, or watching the kids all day or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, he said that the father said that, by a few years into it, he was like, I guess we made the right decision letting her get married because she seems to be happy. She works it out. She does fine. Now, David... He's kind of you would like David.
Yeah,
he'd be one of your buddies that you'd go on a boat with or something. Right. Yeah, he loves fishing and dirt bikes.
Shit, yeah,
that's his thing that he likes to do.
Great.
Goes to his company picnics all the time and
no.
Oh, that's I couldn't take that.
No.
I feel like they're more social in this town than we want to be. But yeah, good dad. Everybody says he's carrying both the kids and one of those kind of dads. Got one up on his shoulders and one over here. And hey, kids, we're going over to I don't know.
It's a good family.
Everybody likes him. He works hard, works in a factory.
Okay.
And everybody said he's a hard worker, works as many hours as he can, tries to provide a good living for the family as well as Carol working too to, make ends meet. And, his wife was, Carol. She's into ceramics and things like that. Jesus. They have their own, like I said, he likes to fish. She likes her ceramics and they're fine with it. Their friends, all of their friends kind of say he's just a good guy is kind of the general things. One of his friends specifically said, wow, this is a neighbor, said he would, quote, would borrow me his lawnmower.
Oh, boy.
So that's nice.
That's such a weird word.
Yeah, that's so weird when people put it like that.
Just say loan.
He borrowed me his lawnmower. No, you borrowed his lawnmower.
Right. It's a polysyllabic word for loan.
Words have meanings, right. And that is not the right one.
He did something that you did something.
Yeah.
You borrowed, he loaned.
You need to take the words and mix them up or something. You've got the idea and you've got all the pieces for a sentence, but they're not in the right order. And also, he would help neighbors fix their cars. If anybody had a problem, he would go down and try to fix it for them and shit. Nice guy, everybody said. Not, like I said, not a voluble, real brilliant man or anything. Everybody said he was kind of a monosyllabic kind of a guy, just kind of a, everybody said he was just typical. They quoted him they quoted neighbors and friends as saying he's just kind of a typical working man, goes home, goes fishing, goes home with his wife, hangs out with his kids. Nothing crazy.
A whole lot of yep in that man.
Yeah, not like he doesn't have a secret, orgy life that he's hiding from anybody. He's not out doing weird eyes wide shut shit around with people.
Just can't wait to fix your carburetor.
Yeah, he'll come down, fix your carburetor, and will not try to finger your wife.
Right.
So, you know what? That's not bad.
Have a beer with you and maybe hit the fishing hole tomorrow.
That's what you want out of people,
great
right?
Life,
hey,
man.
It's not bad.
I like it.
He's doing okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. It sounds like you.
That's my kind of dude.
Yeah, it's my kind of guy. There he is, Jimmy.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna hold you to that. Right. Everybody, just note.
Yeah.
David is Jimmy's kind of guy. So, all right, we got that on record.
Yeah.
Now his mother is named Helen.
Okay.
Helen Ulvinen. That's hard to say. Ulvinen. Ulvinen. So Helen is about 1980. She's about 65 years old. Yeah. And Helen is a interesting kind of a lady. She's a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Everybody says she's very dramatic and things like that. She's had a life. She's had quite the life to her as well. She has an 8th grade education.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's born in 1915.
Right.
So that's
a scholar.
If you're from the country in the, during the Dust Bowl and shit, like that era, not that the Minnesota had the Dust Bowl, but if you're from the country in that era, not everybody graduated from high school.
May as well be a PhD.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was, she's lettered. Right. I mean, that's good enough. So she was kind of, she was married young, and she was married for a long time, over 20 years, and David was born in 1946, and her husband, they got a divorce somewhere in there.
Really?
In like 1950. So she ends up divorced and ends up remarrying somebody else.
Sweet Jesus.
Like the next year. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how long that marriage lasted, but there was some rocky shit going on. And as we'll talk about, she lost custody of David for a while. And it got a little rocky here. And like we said, we don't know what Helen's past is. So I don't know what caused all of this. Now, she ends up though, in late July of 1980, she ends up moving in with David and Carol.
Ooh,
Helen does.
That's contentious.
And it's not a popular decision on the home front.
Amongst both of them.
Amongst both. He's not real thrilled, so he says, but he doesn't mind because it's his mom, and we'll talk about their relationship because it is fucking interesting.
Really?
Oh boy, it's creepy. So, they have a weird relationship, but Carol decides that basically Helen offers to be like the live-in babysitter.
Okay.
So for people who both work full-time jobs, to have a live-in babysitter,
hero stuff.
You're weighing it like huge pain in the ass. Right. Don't have to go to daycare.
Convenience of life.
Picking kids up, dropping them off.
Is the inconvenience that she presents also worth the convenience that she also presents?
How big is the house?
Right.
Shit.
Can she get lost?
Can we? Fuck, is there a mother-in-law suite? This is why they invented that.
Right.
So, she moves in on July 26th, 1980. And live-in babysitter, basically. Carol was not thrilled about this. No, she told her friends that she couldn't fucking stand Helen, hated Helen. She's a huge pain in the ass, and just whenever she's around, there's tension. There's tension in the marriage because of Helen, because Helen's one of those people who likes to stir up drama.
Jesus.
So, toxic. She seems very toxic, Helen, would be the best way to put it as a person.
And probably one of those people that comments on the marriage.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I think
where she has no fucking business or place.
And Carol knows that she has David's ear, and she's I don't know if it's kind of gaslighting, and she's a toxic harpy basically.
She's a shit stirrer,
and she's moving into the home, which is terrible. But Carol told her friends that basically, I told David we could try it. Let's try it. It's kind of a trial basis. Give it a shot for a few months, see if it works, and maybe we'll all get used to each other, and the fact that she's here to watch the kids will be worth it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think Carol is just a nice person and is trying to be agreeable, and also because she's thinking, look, it's his mother. Even if I can't stand her, it is his mother.
Right.
So I'm going to try to, meet him halfway, and she's offering to help with the kids. So I think she's looking at it like that. Like I would feel like a dick if I didn't try it. Yeah. So she's a nice enough person to where she's going to try it anyway.
And also being a kind person in this moment could be leverage in our relationship and marriage getting better.
And that's the other thing too. Yeah. You're showing that, look, I'm trying to meet you halfway.
I'm
trying
something
to do
for you. Yeah. So this could be family building.
I think your mother is a bitch, and I'm still letting her move in.
She's in here.
See her? Look at her.
She was in the bathroom a minute ago. I smelled her shit.
She was a bitch to me no less than 10 minutes ago. Right. She was a bitch to me, and I'm like, it's cool. It's
Walked
fine.
in to brush my teeth. A wall of your mom's shit.
That's all it was.
I'm still here.
My brush tasted like it. I had to throw it out. Really. I got to keep it in my closet from now on. So David kind of had a tough upbringing here. In 1954, when he was 8 years old, he was taken from his mother along with his two younger sisters. His two younger sisters were I think their father ended up taking them, somebody else, and then he ended up being taken away and put in an orphanage.
Oh, boy.
So David, from the ages of 8 to 10, was in an orphanage.
That's awful.
In the early 50s. That's like a little orphan Annie orphanage. You know what I mean?
2 years of hell.
Yeah, instead of kisses, we get kicked kind of shit. Yeah, not good.
Boy.
Not great. 2 years later, he's reunited with his mother, and he doesn't seem to blame his mother at all. He's just like, he looks at her as rescuing him.
Yeah.
It's the opposite.
No resentment.
Even though she's the reason he was there to begin with.
Got all the reason in the world.
He's like, Mom rescued me from the terrible orphanage. So it's that sort of thing. It's me and Mom against the world.
Oh, boy.
And we'll talk exactly kind of how that was at this point here. Oh boy, David, let's just say David loves his mommy. Yeah. And now if anybody out here, you don't have to have seen this, but if anybody has watched 90 Day Fiancé over the last few years, including this current season now, you might know of the guy named Colt. You've seen Colt because you've seen like memes of him and shit everywhere, I'm sure. He's the kind of a heavy set dude. He's got some tits on him, this Colt. He's on 90 Day Fiancé and glasses. And he married this Brazilian woman and he moved her into his house in Vegas, and he lives with his mother.
Oh, boy.
And he's basically married to his mom.
You can't do this.
And it's his mom and his wife. It's all fights are three-way fights. His mom and this one and that one, and she's like getting involved in his relationships. It's clear that, like, you know, she thinks of him as hers, and every woman that comes in is just interfering in their relationship.
He doesn't realize that this is why he has to shop outside the country.
Oh no, and she fucks everything like that up too. No, and in conversations with his friends, he'll be like, "Yeah, I mean, I know I need to like stand up to my mom, or maybe I need to get my own place." And
there you go.
Get your own place.
Yahtzee.
Yeah, he was married, this woman, and she's like, "Please, can we just have our own place? She can live next door. I don't care, but I'd love to be able to fucking walk around and not see your mom every time I go into the fucking living room."
That is a relationship crusher.
It was, and it's creepy. And if you're watching currently, it's reaching peak creepiness at this point in time.
My.
It's really weird. Like
that's too much.
They have them on the Pillow Talk show, where they have the people from the show watch the show and make fun of shit, and they have them on there. It's supposed to be couples like sitting in bed together watching, and it's them on a couch.
All three of them?
No, the two of them. Him and his mom, because the wife has left him now.
It's over.
Every girl has left him. Every single one. Both the Brazilian chicks.
And he doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it. No, he's like, well, I'll just sit here with my mom. And like, she'll like, they got in a big fight, him and his wife, and he took his mom out to dinner. To make up for the whole thing.
I'm really sorry you had to witness that, Mom. Let's go to dinner.
Literally, that's left his wife at home.
Holy
Not
shit.
The three of them took, weird as shit.
That's vile.
It's fucking creepy.
That's really gross.
And that's kind of what's going on here. It's a Deb and Colt situation if you watch 90 Day Fiancé. Oh boy. So he said that he loved his mom always. He always told everybody, and he felt responsible for her as she was getting older because he felt like he owed her a debt of gratitude. Did I just say a get of dat? Okay,
gratitude.
I can't.
He's got a datitude.
I swear to God,
got to take care of her.
What's wrong
like
with
me?
That's
what that is.
Words can come out, and I can use them, but apparently not. Sometimes they come out all crinkled.
But why does he owe her shit? Like
because she got him out of the orphanage.
So she's gonna fall apart, and he needs to take care of her for fucking how long?
Forever, because she got him out of the orphanage, and that's all and everything for him. He that 2 years in the orphanage apparently, in his mind, really, went up there. Now, her father, Carol's father, Ray, he says that basically the mother was like a queen to Dave. He thought of her as like the queen and treated her as such. Ray says, quote, he worshipped the ground she walked on. It was David's idea for Mom to move in. He said, Mom's had a hard life. Now I'm going to take care of her.
No, bitch. You got a queen. You married her.
She has 8 other children.
Stop that.
8.
They could chip in too.
8.
Wow.
He's the only son. She has 8 girls and 1 boy, which is, just the odds of that. This is
amazing.
The dice. She should at least, I hope she plays craps or something, because she can just fucking nail a 7 after 7. She's good. So she said, and also the Ray said that David, quote, could do no wrong in his mother's eyes.
There's why.
So this is, and if you're the only son out of 9 kids, that mother is oh my God.
And if she never judges you?
Oh, you're going to be, she's going to forget about it. I mean, it's going to be ridiculous. Mothers love their sons.
Yeah.
And it's the way it is. Dads have a special thing for their daughters.
Yeah.
Moms have a special thing for their sons. It's they take care of them different. It's I don't know, it's a weird thing that we all have, but But this is weird, and they have a strange relationship.
Is it because psychologically we know that she is going to get another guy? You know what I mean? And
maybe.
you've got to try to be the best you can for her so that she goes and gets the best guy?
Well, if she ends up with guys, I guess, then you're looking at, or whoever she ends up with, guys, girls, it doesn't really matter. You just want to set an example, I feel like, as somebody that would be like, because they don't have, the most examples they have are their parents. So if their parents are both decent, they'll look for people who are like their parents, or at least decent like that, hopefully. Either that or they'll go the complete opposite way, and they'll look for, the guy hiding in an electrical box with the bees.
There's definitely psychology behind that for one way or the other. Whether it's you treat your wife the way you want them to
it's all, who knows if it's like a reverse edible thing. I don't know what the fuck it is. A reverse edible, it could be that too. That's possible as well.
It's bizarre.
It's strange, but he got, put it this way, one time he got in a fist fight at work. A fist fight at work because a guy was talking on the company telephone, and his mom was outside waiting for him, and he needed to make a phone call before he left for work, and made his mom wait 10 minutes outside.
So he was furious.
So he got in a fist fight because you made my mother wait outside for me.
That's not fist fightable.
That is, I really need to use the phone.
Wow.
If he doesn't do it, you're like, that guy's a fucking dick.
Right.
That's all. That's not I'm going to knock your teeth out, but that's how protective he is of his mom. Wow. My mom had to wait 10 minutes. Like,
wasted 10 minutes of my mom's time.
I'm down. He'd be terrible around Italian people. Hey, why don't you go fuck your mother? What? Okay. So this is the other thing. There is rumors around, and friends of Carol have said that Carol suspected that there was a sexual relationship between mother and son. Oh, no. Maybe not actively, but at some point in the past, or some point at something, there has been,
like, lovingly sexual,
like a sexual relationship between mother and son. That's what she believes, what some of the friends have said.
Fuck.
So that's I don't know. That's
a lot.
That's a lot to take in. Like, she's like, it's creepy. That's why she just doesn't like Helen around. When David's by himself and they're together, everything's fine. When Helen's around, it's all about Helen. She's the specter over the whole thing.
That's so heavy.
She's the umbrella hanging over everything here. I look at her like a big willow tree, just like drooping and draping her tentacles on everybody. So August 10th, 1980 comes around, and she and Helen and Carol have been fighting. Basically, Helen is not even fighting. Helen has been complaining, is what it is. She's complaining about everything. She said that she would be treated better if she was in jail. She said, "Oh, you people treat me horribly." At one point, she locked Carol out of the house. So Carol was like, "This is fucking. I can't even get in my fucking house." She locked me out of the house. She went outside, Carol. We'll talk about it, to look at the garden or something, and Helen locked her out.
I'd lose it.
Yeah, I would be extremely upset about that. So, also on this day, there was some kind of fight between Carol and David, maybe about that, where David ended up like taking a walk and ended up missing dinner, and it's a mess, man. It's a mess. So, yeah, once she moved in, all downhill. August 10th is the day we're talking about here. That's about complaining about I'd be treated better in jail, Helen says. She complained specifically that the Hoffmans did not have any whole milk on hand. No whole milk.
You're 65. Go to the store, bitch.
Well, not only that, you're a heavy-set 65-year-old woman. Let's switch to fucking 2%. All right?
Maybe some skim.
I can't do whole milk anyway.
No.
That shit is like, it's thick. It's like pudding.
It's chewy.
I can't do it, man. It's gross. Well, I'm not, milk and dairy shit doesn't react well to me. I love ice cream and stuff, but it hurts me. So whole milk, if I eat whole milk.
You gotta weigh the taste versus the punishment.
Yeah, if I eat whole milk, I am going to be in trouble for a long time. A lot of stomachache going on.
And it's gross in the first one.
And it's disgusting. I don't even want it to begin with. So she was mad they had no whole milk, no half and half, or not even any Cool Whip.
Oh, my God.
Nothing of a thick, creamy, white consistency.
Why does this old bag love this shit?
I could get like 4,000 immediate calories out of. You could fucking extract.
Right.
So that's what she's looking for here. She was worried and yelling at Carol because she said that the granddaughters will become anemic without whole milk.
Oh, for Christ's
they're going to be anemic without whole milk. Or where's the half and half? Something. They're withering away.
I'll push Cool Whip down. We don't even have that.
They're fine. They're not emaciated. They're not sick. The kids are well taken care of. Carol takes super good care of her kids and feeds them nutritious meals. They don't need half and half stuff down their throat to put on weight.
She's losing her mind about we don't have any of the dairy case in the fridge.
We have nothing. How Minnesota is that, though? How like upper Minnesota, Wisconsin, that whole region?
I'm going to have to douche them with sour cream.
Oh, God. I want something dairy that I could hold in my hand.
Right.
Like whole milk.
Something that doesn't go through my fingers.
Yeah, exactly. Like whole milk. Something just like a plop of Cool Whip or whole milk or half and half. You don't drink half and half.
That goes in your coffee, and that's it.
And a little bit. Otherwise, it's not. You don't drink half and half. I actually, one of my cousins.
Stop this.
I had this cousin, man. It was hilarious, and it was most Guinea thing ever too. It was like his christening or some shit when he was like 7, or not his christening, communion or some shit when he was 7, and the party was at the Knights of Columbus. In Beacon, New York. It's the most stereotypical shit ever. And this kid, he was hyperactive as fuck. Ghetto Brian, my cousin Ghetto Brian.
Oh, boy.
We call him Ghetto Brian because he's super ghetto.
Yeah.
Great guy, nice dude, good dude, but man, he's just a ghetto motherfucker. He's just from there, and he's just
puts water in his cereal.
What's up, Ghetto Brian? He had this house that just had bullet holes all over it. And we're like, Ghetto Brian, what are you doing, bro?
Man.
He was just like, it happens.
That's where the place is.
It was wild.
Location.
My little brother went there to do something with him or drop him off or something, and he was like, all right, man, see you later. Ghetto Brian said to him, he goes, hey, but don't turn right. He goes, you'll definitely get carjacked. He goes, so you should go left. This is the way, you got to go around that area or else you'll get killed. And so do that. So Ghetto Brian, anyway, when he was 7, maybe this is what ended up causing all of this. He was going around to every table and getting all of the half and half
out of the middle of the table,
and fucking
chugging shots
of it.
Dude,
he'd take all the tops off and line them up, and he'd be like bang, 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 bang. He'd do like fucking 10 in a row. It was like an Old West cowboy.
Gross.
Lining the whiskeys up in front of me. It was. I saw him do it so much. He probably drank 40 of them in front of me, and I didn't tell anybody because I wanted to see what would happen.
My daughter likes the vanilla ones at restaurants, and then she doesn't even open them. She just like jams her canine tooth through the lid and then puts it in her mouth. And it's like, baby, now with COVID,
like a human Keurig.
Right?
What the fuck is she? She's a human Keurig, Jimmy. What the hell is going on? Good Lord!
She doesn't even put like a carburetor in it. I don't know how she gets it out.
I was gonna say she's good. Folks. The fucking whole shotguns it. What is happening?
She's a lunatic. Now with COVID, thank Christ, she probably won't do it ever again because people got to touch those. That's gross.
That is pretty gross.
She's just jamming them in her fucking mouth.
That's different.
Just the vanilla ones. The white ones, fuck them. She won't even touch them. She'll stack those in the middle of the table. The blue ones, those are going right in her goddamn mouth.
Wow. They don't have any Cool Whip or half an hour milk, whole milk. What else is she supposed to do?
She's not anemic, thank Christ.
So the kids would become anemic immediately without whole milk if it's not in at least some half and half for the love of God. And if not, Cool Whip.
It'll work in a pinch.
Wow. She
that's some 1915 logic.
Yeah.
There.
Oh my God. Yeah. Fatten them up. No, you don't just give them fat. You got any lard? We'll just spoon lard into their Cheerios. But then they don't have any whole milk. So then again, we're back to that.
Yeah, she clearly went through the Great Depression and just like set Cool Whip outside and let it go into like a liquid form and poured that on her cereal or something.
There we go. That's better for calories. And Helen is, make no mistake about it, a large woman.
Really?
She's a very, very large woman.
Okay.
And so you would think that she probably eats Cool Whip, maybe a little extra than she needs to.
She's a big woman. She's a pain in the ass. And she's just a nightmare, causing problems.
Like throw mama from the train is what I keep. Yeah, it just keeps popping in my head is throw mama from the Owen. She's just screaming across the house, David, Carol.
That lady's an amazing actress.
And Carol every time. She is like
shuddering. My God.
Coming because she's nice and she's still going to try. She's like, I'm coming. Okay.
She counts backwards of what the life expectancy is for somebody that's hugely obese and 65.
Like 65, usually.
Maybe 5 more years.
And she eats nothing but Cool Whip and fucking whole milk and half. So I'll just buy more half and speed this process up. That's all I can do. Now, Helen is complaining, like I said, that she would be treated better in jail. She said, if I was in jail, I'd get what I want.
Oh, boy.
No. Probably not. You're not going to, I don't think they'll give you extra half and half.
No, not extra.
Probably.
You get what you get.
You get what you get, probably. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you all sorts of good stuff about Chime. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many extra fees you have to pay in life. Everything. You go to the airline, there's an extra ticket on that. There's extra fee on every fees and fees, hotels, fees, all this type of stuff. We're trying to make progress, and the next thing you know, here comes another fee coming at you, and it's more money than you expected, and your whole math is thrown off, and it's awful. Learn more at chime.com/smalltownmurder. Chime is great with that stuff. I mean, you can't beat if your things are a little tight, especially around the holidays or after the holidays. You need that money a couple days early, or you go grocery shopping. You got a car payment due. There's so many things that don't cross over exactly how you want them to cross over. Make progress toward a better financial future with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/smalltownmurder. That's chime.com/smalltownmurder. Feels like progress. Banking services and debit cards provided by Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in Spot Me and are subject to monthly limits. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about a healthy, delicious item, Hero Bread. And we're both trying to get healthier this new year. Jimmy had a eye-opening doctor's appointment and things like that. So we're trying to get healthier, and I'm telling you right now, this Hero Bread is a good step in this direction. It's delicious, and it is really good for you, and it's really excellent. They have the sliced bread is good, the bagels, the tortillas. I know you've been
they're terrific.
Ranting about the tortillas. They're so good. With Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in the soft, fluffy experience you love, but guilt-free. I really love the little Hawaiian rolls, too.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're so good. The Hawaiian rolls, they're legit. They're fluffy. Yeah. They're exactly how you want them to be. You'd never know it's low-carb and high-fiber bread from the texture. You get the soft, fluffy experience you know and love with your savory breakfast sandwich, late-night grilled cheese, Taco Tuesday. Do it. Yeah. No compromises, just flavor, ultra-low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, high in fiber. It's fantastic. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use the code SmallTownMurder at checkout. That's SmallTownMurder at HERO.co.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's SONOBELLO.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
After a while, the complaints even started to irritate David, who has a very long fuse with his mom. But we're not sure if he was mad at her or if he was just upset that there was tension because his mom, I don't know, in his weird mind, he might have been upset that Carol wasn't providing his mom everything that his mom needed, even though he can go get some fucking Cool Whip if he wants to also. There's no rule against that.
Right.
So he ends up leaving the house, going off and taking a walk and missing dinner. Mm-hmm. That's how mad he is now. Now, Helen was at dinner. She's there. Oh, and reluctantly. She wasn't like, she's, I don't know about this dinner. I guess I'll eat. Well, at first she said she wasn't hungry. Mm-hmm. I'm not hungry. Carol's like, yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah, sure you are.
See you in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no problem. Mm-hmm. No problem, mother. What's her name? Alvinin. No problem there. You got it. Yeah. Sure. And then after a minute, she changed her mind, she said, and filled her plate and ate every fucking drop of it. So she went from, I just don't want any to, I guess I'll eat an entire plate and all of it and, and get full. But also criticized the food while she ate the whole thing as well. Jesus. Yeah, just pick it, Carol. Pick it, Carol. Pick it, Carol. For not adding enough onions to the rice that went with the beef.
Who? What?
I don't want onions in my rice.
No.
Number one. Probably Carol didn't either.
Yeah.
She probably put the onions in just to shut Helen up anyway. Right. And then she's complaining there's not enough onions. Meanwhile, poor Carol's got like a pile of discarded onions on the side of her plate that she had to pick out of her rice because she didn't want any.
Put these in yours.
Maybe. I don't know what the dish was, so I don't know if it was something that should go with it or
beef and rice.
I assume it's a casserole dish because it's Minnesota.
Probably.
So you put onions in that.
Something made in a Pyrex.
Yeah, it's made in a Pyrex. It's cooked at 350 to 370, maybe 375 to finish it once they pull the tin foil off to get a crisp on top.
It's got a good cheese thickness on top.
Yeah. So you pop the tin foil off, kick it up to 375, get a little crispiness on the cheese. So Helen's bitching about dinner, complaining about dinner. In addition to that, this is the same day, like we said, she locked not only Carol, but David as well out of the house when they went outside to check on the vegetable garden.
Oh, no.
They went back in and the door was locked. She wouldn't open it. Later on, once she finally let them in after a while, she said it was because there was a bee in the house and she wanted to kill it.
Okay.
So she needed to lock them outside to kill the bee.
So the 65-year-old heavy lady is limber enough to kill a bee.
Yeah. Well, she did she tried to get
your life.
She tried to, because usually you open the door and try to shoo the bee out, but she tried that and then the bee wouldn't leave. So then she did like a Bronx Tale and she locked the door and she said, "No, you can't leave." And she's fucking.
It's either him or me.
That's it. She went in and attacked him. So apparently that obviously pissed them both off, and just the whole thing causes David to go out and miss dinner, and poor Carol has to sit and eat with Helen and the kids by herself.
Endure the comments.
She needs a buffer for this, so I feel bad. So that's the 10th. Now, August 11th, 1980, Hoffman, David, calls the police and says that Carol's missing. Can't find Carol. I might like to file a missing persons report, and, I don't know where she is. She's gone. I woke up today. She wasn't here.
Right.
I don't know what the hell's going on. She's just not here. So that's, that's concerning. And at the same time, after what happened yesterday.
Right. Maybe she's had enough of this shit.
That's what I mean. So, yeah, it's not exactly surprising, I guess. But the thing is that's weird is there's a couple of odd things. Number one, her rings are at the house. And the thing about that is not that she didn't take her rings off ever, but her fingers were swollen. She had some water problems or something, and her fingers were swollen, her family says, the day before, and she couldn't get her rings off because her fingers were too swollen. So how did she get her rings off to take them off? Right. So that's one of the things. How'd she get them off to leave, and why would she struggle that hard to get them off to leave? It doesn't make any sense.
Or was she that pissed?
Yeah, but there's not just her wedding ring. It's multiple rings.
Oh, everything.
So, yeah, it's all a ring. So they're like, that's really weird.
It's a lot of effort.
It's a lot of effort. Yeah, it's strange. And also, her family's like, I mean, I don't know if it's for a day or whatever, but they don't think she would go anywhere, even for a day, without the kids. Yeah. Like, if she's leaving, she's taking the kids with them.
And if she's leaving with the kids, she's telling somebody where she's going.
Yeah, and more than likely, because the one time she left, she took the daughter with her, and that was that. I mean, she's their mom, and she's a good mom, and she's not going to just leave her kids and take off without saying anything. It's just not her style at all.
And if she wants out of a scenario and an environment that's toxic, she's not going to leave her kids in it.
No, that's the thing. She's not going to leave her kids in it, and she doesn't seem to be the type of person that would have any trouble telling him, too, that I'm leaving and I'm taking the kids, and here's fucking why. Yeah. Because you're an asshole and because you're letting your mother.
Your mom's worse.
Yeah, you're letting your mom's worse, and your mother, and then she just leaves. That's it. Your mother. So after the disappearance here, within the next few days, David becomes very emotional while they're looking for his wife, apparently. Very emotional. He's also, trying to find the wife, and he's trying to find Carol. He's trying to help the police and all that stuff. He's a participant in the searching and everything for her.
An effort.
Oh, yeah, he looks like he's all about it. And that week, like within the next few days after that, he becomes emotional and experiences a religious conversion.
Oh, boy.
And also tells everybody that the end of the world is coming.
All right.
So, end of the world is coming.
He's all of a sudden fun to be around.
Yeah, not religious at all before this.
Right.
At all. Like, he just wasn't a religious guy. Not like an atheist or anything, or not an atheist, not a Catholic. Yeah. He's just I don't know, not really my thing.
Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter. I really didn't have much of an opinion on it. But apparently, right after Carol disappeared, he accompanied friends to church. They said, well, why can't hurt? Come pray to find her, type of thing. So he went to the Evangelical Free Church in Rogers, Minnesota, that Sunday, and he at that point accepted Christ into his life. He said, "This is it." He was on board, and he immediately became obsessed with Judgment Day.
Really?
Before this, he had no real, grasp of any of it. Now he's like, well, Judgment Day. Oh, shit. Oh, that's this week. Fuck. God damn it. Did you see the goddamn date on this thing? I didn't know this shit existed.
It's coming up pretty quick.
Whew, boy, did I get it in a nick of time. I'll tell you what. So he would frequently, this is in like a couple of days, would link the end of the world to events that are happening, including, but not limited to, the eruptions at Mount St. Helens and the fact that his mother's name is
Stop that.
Helen.
Oh, boy.
That's a sign that the end of the world is coming. That's Judgment Day.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it just happened.
Yes.
Right.
Because A, all of that is real, and B, assuming it is, God named that mountain Mount St. Helens, not just us. And then they would, no.
God had no plan in your mom's name nor that mountain.
No, but obviously, duh. Right. God is working. You don't get it, Jimmy.
It's everywhere.
He's not telling everybody. Yeah. It's assigned to David.
Oh, it's
specifically.
Just for him.
Yeah. The Mount St. Helens, David.
Yeah.
You need to, alert the rest of everybody that the Judgment Day is coming. What the fuck?
Well, maybe he should link that that mountain is a destructor, and so's his fucking mom.
Well, that could be together.
And her ass is as big as that volcano, and she's a real terror. She's
a terror. Yeah, and you know what? After too many onions and whole milk, I bet you the comparisons are apt. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There are eruptions. So that was a big deal with him. Now, the police are talking to everybody because she has left no sign. She's been gone for a few days here and, didn't come back for the kids. They're thinking there's some foul play involved here. Sure. The ring thing they don't like. There's a lot of stuff they're not liking here. So they talk to everybody, including David's coworkers at Graco Inc. I think that is the baby stuff.
Yeah.
That's the car seats and shit.
Graco, yeah.
Graco, a Minneapolis manufacturer. So it's
probably them.
It's probably them. This person said that David told them in a joking manner that he intended to kill Carol.
Oh, Jesus.
Just like joking around, though. Like you joke with your friends that you're going to kill your wife all the time. Especially specifically, by the way, because if you joke like that, I'm going to kill her, boy, I mean, that's hilarious, number one. But when you really get specific about it, then it's really funny. That's when it becomes a full bit.
Right.
At first, you're just throwing it out, but then
the premise.
You got to work it into a chunk, and he starts working this whole act up.
Oh, boy.
One where he talks to a coworker named Renee Halsworth, and he tells her that he thought about killing his wife by drowning her in a snowmobile accident on thin ice. That's a possibility. That's funny. That's his opener. He's going to build.
That's pretty clever, though.
It's Minnesota. Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's a hunting accident. And it's the same thing. Just woods deaths, happen so often.
She went one way, I went the other. Happened to be a lake.
That's it. It's like Drop Dead Gorgeous when they're like, it's hunting season. It's going to get busy when she's down in the morgue. Like, oh, boy.
10,000 lakes around here. She just stumbled on one.
We lose 10-12% of the population the first week of hunting season every year. So that you got to have 11 kids in Minnesota. It's just the way it works.
Right.
So later, David offered her $5,000 to not say anything about that.
That's
once Carol disappears, David goes, "Hey, I'll give you $5,000 if you're asked about anything about me. Don't mention that snowmobile, thin ice.
What a weird thing
to say. Don't mention that whole thing because it just looks bad.
Yeah.
They get the wrong idea.
I don't want to. Listen, $5,000 is a less inconvenience to my life than what that questioning is going to do.
I mean, clearly, obviously, it was comedy. I'm an artist, clearly, but they don't get it. These people, they don't get art.
$5,000.
$5,000.
That's crazy.
So, but her and other people around the office, Leona Olson and Steve Brandt, said that they all believe these, threats and things were just meant as a joke and that he was just getting, quote, some hostilities off his chest by talking about them.
What?
Don't know.
How no. What?
If you work with a guy who's always joking about specific ways to kill his wife, I'm not friends with that guy.
And that guy also is thinking about it a lot.
It's like Al Bundy with a fucking psychotic streak, Al Bundy hated Peg, but he was never like, I'm going to take her to the lake and I'm going to push her in off the boat and then weigh her down with that. I'm just kidding, though. That's hilarious, right? I'm going to tie cinder blocks to her leg and watch her fucking red hair just sink. That's funny, right?
It would be funny if he did it.
Yeah.
Ed O'Neill could deliver.
I was going to say Ed O'Neill could probably make, and she would be great too. She's so funny.
He oftentimes joked about killing. Did you miss me with every shot so far? And it was funny every goddamn time.
Yes, but it was never
amazing. But it's never,
and it was always directed toward her.
Right.
It was never.
It's not to his buddies at the shoe store.
It's not like they were at a party and oh boy, I'll kill my wife, and then she's there and he's like up here. He's going off on his bit again. I'll get more dip. It's like, I'm going to take her out on a snowmobile, and everyone's like, oh, this guy's hilarious. So they said that. Steve Brandt, the one coworker, he knows about everything, and he says that he doesn't believe that there's any foul play involved with David, of course, anyway. He said that, he did have to ask everybody a few days after the disappearance not to tell people about the jokes he's been making.
Right.
I'm a funny guy, but my art can get me in trouble, is what he said. And they were like, listen, Dave, we get it.
Here's how innocent I am. $5,000. That screams less innocence than it does guilt.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. $5,000.
That's a lot of money, and especially that
in 1980. That's a decent amount. Yeah, so it's like $25,000 probably now. It's like that's a good amount. Wow,
you could buy a house for fucking 20 more.
You buy a car for $5,000 in 1980, like a new one. So. Finally, he's interviewed a couple times by the police, and like I said, he's trying to, quote, help out.
Right.
They're kind of treating him like he's part of the investigation at this point.
Sure.
And then about February 18th, they're like, we got to really question him now. They've found some things that they're a little concerned with, and they want to question him seriously. So on August 18th, did I say February?
Yeah.
It's August 18th, so a week after the disappearance. He sits down at the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office here with some deputies, and he's advised of his rights right away because he's a suspect at this point, or at least a person of interest, I would say. What he begins with, David is going to begin this interview process. He goes to, not as a group, they're all lined up, each individual detective, and asks them if they believe in the Lord.
Okay.
Do you believe in the Lord?
Yeah.
Do you believe in the Lord? Do you believe in the Lord? He goes through the whole thing.
And number 4, guess what I'm about to ask you.
And then when they all say, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, Yep.
Yeah.
You'd say I'll agree to anything. I got to hear what you got to say now.
It's pretty obvious that guy is not looking for no.
Yeah. He's not looking for no, and he's not going to go, do you believe in the Lord? Okay, cool, just asking. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck happened to Carol. Probably not going to be the case. He's probably going to give us something here if we all agree that we believe in the Lord.
Right.
So he says, all right, let me tell you what happened to Carol. He goes, because I know what happened to Carol at this point.
No.
And right here, we can start off with, we have the beginning of his whole statement, and we're going to do a small town murder piece theater out of this. And while Jimmy pulls his up, I will start this off here. On this, he says that on the morning of the 11th, Helen told him, his mom told him that she was going to move out.
Oh boy.
She's moving out because, quote, Carol has been so nasty to me. Mm-hmm. Okay. And in his statement, he says, this is how he opens it up. That's your first A there.
I'm A.
No, I'm A. You're Q, but just give me the A and then you're on the next Q. Okay.
I'm in.
So he says here that, quote, Sunday morning, that's the day of the 11th, I went downstairs and my mom was in the bedroom reading, I'll do character. Reading the newspaper, and she had tears in her eyes. And she said in a very frustrated voice, I've got to find another house. She said, Carol don't want me here. And she said, I probably shouldn't have moved here. And I just said then, don't let what Carol say hurt you. It's going to take a little more period of a readjustment for her. Then I told Mom that I've got to do it tonight so there can be peace in this house.
Yeah. What'd you tell your mom that you have to do that night?
I told my mom that I was going to have to put her to sleep.
Dave, will you tell us exactly what you told your mother that night? Listen, to the best of your recollection.
Well, I said I was going to have to choke her tonight, and I'll have to dispose of her body so that it'll never be found. That's the best of my knowledge.
What did you say to your mother when you told her that?
What did she say?
What did your mother say to you when you told her that? There's 11 words.
There's 11.
What the fuck is happening?
She just looked at me with very sad eyes and just started to weep. I think she said something like, "It will be for the best." Okay.
What?
Okay, that's breaking the intermission.
That's real.
That's real.
That's what two people said back and forth to each other for real.
Off the fucking tape. Wow. That is a transcript, and there's more. There's a second part. I'm going to give some stage direction here. David then spends the day fishing with a friend of his. Mm-hmm. He's got to get out of this house and go fishing, which that was probably the most relaxing fishing he's ever had. When he got home that afternoon, he had another conversation with his mother. And she told him at that time about a phone conversation Carol had in which she discussed taking the children and leaving home. Mm-hmm. That's what he claims that she said, that Helen said. Now, David told the police that during the conversation with his mother that afternoon, he told her, Mom, tonight's got to be the night. And here's your question.
When you told your mother tonight's got to be the night, did your mother understand that you're going to kill Karen that evening?
Carol.
Goddamn. Take two! When you told your mother tonight's got to be the night, did your mother understand that you were going to kill Carol that night?
She thought I was just kidding her about doing it. She didn't think I could do it.
Why didn't your mother think that you could do it?
Because for some time I'd been telling her I was going to take Carol scuba diving and make it look like an accident.
And she said?
And she always said, "Oh, you're just kidding me."
But your mother knew what you were going to do that night, right?
I think my mother sensed that I was really going to do it that night.
What do you think your mother sensed you were really going to do it that night?
Because when I came home, she told me what had happened to the house, and I told her tonight's got to be the night. I think she said, again, I'm not certain, it would be best, for the kids.
How do they do this with a straight face?
For the kids.
What the fuck?
It'd be best if I just killed their mom,
right,
who provides them with a wonderful upbringing and, guides them and gives them everything. I think it'd be best if I kill her, obviously, because there's just a lot of tension in the house. Rather than you just moving out, right, I'll just kill their mom. That'd be much better for her.
And his mom knew.
Whoa. So it's a 12-page statement here. He says in it, just further, he said that he planned on killing his wife for nearly a year. This has been going on, which I don't get it because they were fine before Helen moved in. So that's a weird part. Right. He said that on the 9th, the day before the 10th, when they were all arguing there, that he and his wife went scuba diving near Stillwater, and he considered disconnecting her air supply. Either that or crimping her tube. So that's what he said.
What the fuck?
He also said maybe I could just go under there and strangle her with the tube. He's like, but then that would show. But if I cut off her air, that would look like an accident. That's what he was thinking. He said, quote, I looked at her and I just couldn't do it because I realized I loved her.
Unreal.
But 2 days later, though, the love is left.
I couldn't do it because I realized I loved her. You don't love her if
Where has the love gone,
think
Jimmy?
For a second, I could just cut that tube off.
That's the thing. If you're not fantasizing or not joking, if you're literally going, should I cut her? Which way should I kill her? Right. Not should I even kill her? Should I choke her with it? Just cut off the air supply or crimp the tube? Which one? What would be better? Nah.
And if the thought of when I cut that hose, the aftermath that's about to ensue, I'm comfortable watching that because I'm down here too.
Yeah, I'll just watch her. All right, that'll be fine.
I'm gonna watch her flail and just be like, cool.
Whoops. What? Shrugging? What?
Talk. I can't hear you.
Meet me up there and swim to the top. No, is that the fucking plan? Meet me at the top. Just leave her down.
I would lose my shit if I saw somebody panicking underwater because I don't know what the fuck to do in the first place to save him. Granted, he doesn't have any idea or reason or want to save her, but still.
Yeah, this is what he's planning on trying to kill her.
I'm incapable of processing watching that.
I don't want to watch that at all. That's not worth it.
No matter I hate the person or not, I don't want to watch that.
No, I'd much rather deal with my wife and my mother fighting than having to watch that. That's way worse to me than watching these two fight.
Right.
That's on you guys. At some point, you just got to go, you know what? I'm not involved anymore. This is between you two.
I don't know for damn sure positive that woman did something horrible to a child before murdering that child.
Yeah.
That's the reason I couldn't see that happening.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only person I would want to do that to.
Nice lady who takes care of your kids really well.
Objectively, she seems great.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Right.
No one has a bad word to say. So on the 11th, the night that this happened, the night that the actual killing, I got to put her to sleep here. Yeah. Here's what happened. Apparently, he says that his wife refused to have sex with him, as she'd also done the previous night.
Good for her.
Okay. He claims that she says she refused him, and he was getting more aggressive, and she got mad at him and said, according to him, quote, Jesus, I like Carol a lot after this. Why don't you go downstairs and fuck your fat mama? Which... if I was in the room, I'd standing O. Go fuck your fat mama, Dave. I would have
finally had enough.
That I hope she did say that. I don't know if he's saying that just to she incited me, but I really hope she did say that because he fucking deserved it, and that would be a great line. So anyway, he said he rolled over and tried to kiss her, and then she refused him, and so he started choking her. He said that she only said one word, and that was Dave, like, why are you doing this? And he said that, quote, I kept squeezing tighter and tighter and tighter, and I held on for about 4 minutes, and then I felt as she went limp.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay.
That's so long.
It gets worse here. He also, we'll save that for a minute. He said then he went downstairs to wake his mom up. He woke his mom up to say, hey, here, I need you to do something. I need you to keep the 3-year-old away from the kitchen and the bathroom for a little while. I need you to stand guard in case they wake up, because, 3-year-olds tend to wake up and pee and do things. So he said, he was... Wow, he was trying to figure out what to do here, obviously. He said that he, was planning it for a while. Then he goes into this thing here about he says that I felt like a big burden was over for my kids and my mother. A big burden was over. Yeah, right. He said that he and his mother quietly discussed the murder in the kitchen. sat her down in the living room and said, I killed her, and I had to choke her. I mean, it's a huge pain in the ass. And she said, well, I guess it's for the best.
Yeah.
That was that. He says that his mother said, quote, yes, Dave, I know you had to do it for the sake of these kids. And if you hadn't have done it, I would have moved out. Well, God forbid if she moves out, then what? He said at one point he planned to blame the murder on his father-in-law. His father-in-law, Ray.
Good Lord.
Yeah, right. Fucking, and then he decided against it. Because it's absolutely ridiculous to do that. No one's believing that. At the end of his statement here, he says, it's all about his kids and all this shit. He says, quote, there's too much crime and corruption and drugs and stealing and rapes and just every kind of crime I can think of in this world right now. And for the love of my children and for my mother, I had to do this thing so I can stop the pain and suffering.
Good Lord.
What does that have to do with corruption and drugs and stealing? The fact that you wanted to kill your wife because she didn't put enough onions in the rice.
I sacrificed her for the Carter administration.
I sacrificed the beginning of the Reagans here.
Reagan.
August. In August. It wasn't happened yet.
I was close.
No, it didn't happen yet.
Oh.
This happened in August. Okay. So Carter is still president.
Got it.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, for the love of his children, this was.
Wow.
He says that he wanted to make it look like an accident, but didn't know what to do. He said that they had not had sex since his mother arrived in the home. It had been 2 weeks since they had any sex, and that he was upset about that and continually. And then when she said, "Why don't you go fuck your fat mama?"
Yeah.
He said that he couldn't take it anymore.
A 2-week pent up man. That's the trigger.
Please, 2 weeks. Get over yourself.
Shit.
Get over yourself.
That ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Man.
No. This guy he's a spoiled little bitch. I swear to God. I don't like him. I don't like him anyway. Yeah. In a statement, he said that about choking her, that he kept squeezing tighter and tighter and tighter until she was limp, like I said. He said when he was done, he looked at the clock and it was 12:17 a.m. He said that he held his wife's neck for about 4 minutes, then wrapped his knees around her neck. If he got tired, he's like, I'll use my legs for a while. What an asshole. He said he went downstairs to the basement there where his mother was sleeping to ask her to come upstairs. And he did say that, wow, as he was choking her, he began to believe that he was doing the right thing. He said that this was necessary to, quote, get the evil out of her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he hasn't even found Jesus yet at this point.
No, he did. That was a few days before. It was like
the day after she disappeared.
Yeah, after she disappeared. Right. But this is a week later. So, well, that's true. He hadn't found it in his own timeline.
Right.
Yeah. He said, "quote, I felt I was driving the devil out of her."
Oh boy.
Come on. That's not even try that
what
shit.
Are
you fucking kidding me? He said that, and what I did was best for my girls. I had a feeling she was possessed and I had no control over her behavior. Because she wouldn't fuck you?
How many times does people grasp for that excuse?
Because she wouldn't fuck you.
Right.
Give me a break, dude.
Evil.
He said, yeah, when at the time I thought I was getting rid of evil, is what she said, exactly what he said. So he went down there. He said that where he wanted his mom to sit, she'd be able to see the kitchen, the bathroom, and bedroom doors and could stop either of the kids if they tried to enter the bathroom because he was going to be busy in there.
Oh, boy.
He said that while this is going on, he moved Carol's body to the bathtub, Jimmy.
Right.
He said that he went downstairs again. His mother came back up so she could keep an eye on everything. He then cut Carol's hair with scissors and put the clippings in a paper bag.
That's weird.
And he ended up disposing of the hair by burning it in the wood stove.
Ugh.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy,
Wouldn't
man?
somebody smell that?
That's what I mean.
I mean, that goes outside, but
yeah.
Wouldn't you be like, do you smell
Why
hair?
would you do that?
Do you
It's
smell
just
hair?
an extra humiliation. I don't know what it is.
That's far.
I guess it's to get rid of it. I don't know, man. Then he took 2 knives.
But he did it with scissors, James. He didn't shave it. You know what I mean?
He just cut it with scissors. That's what I mean. It seems like a humiliation
it's a
or
weird
like
thing.
a control thing. I don't know what it is, but it's grossing me out. He took 2 knives, a 10-inch serrated scuba knife and a 12-inch knife, and then he began to dismember
Good Lord.
her. Dismember poor Carol here. He told the authorities here that he cut the legs at the he cut her body in half and cut off her legs below the knees.
Good Lord.
And cut off her head And then he said, okay, what do I do with all the insides here? Because he was thinking he's going to dispose of a lot of this.
Yeah, those don't package nicely.
So he says, well, I got a garbage disposal.
Gross.
And he takes what he could get out and takes it to the garbage disposal.
Wow.
He said he was sweating profusely trying to stuff
unbelievable
organs down the garbage disposal and do all of this, and it wasn't working real well, and it was getting clogged up, because it's not made for
it's for crumbs of lasagna, not people.
Oh my god,
that's so much.
Dude, if you got like a carrot scrap, it'll go right in there, but not for it's not meant for internal organs.
Have you ever tried to put a fucking lime down one?
Yeah,
it never goes.
It'll go eventually. It's a lemon, but you're going to hear it bouncing around
for quite a while.
For a while, yeah, it really is. You would think that if you stuck your hand down there, it wouldn't take your finger off immediately, but somehow it'll take your finger off in 2 seconds, but it won't cut off.
Can't take a lemon wedge.
Yeah, it won't cut off. It won't nail a cucumber slice at all, or internal organs. So
wow.
He said he was sweating profusely and went back to the bathroom where he used a towel to dry himself off. He said the whole time his mother remained in the living room watching him go back and forth and stuffing things in because remember, she could see everything from where she is.
Christ.
She just hung out, watching over everything. He said that he didn't believe that he says he didn't think his mother ever saw the body, even though she did see him carrying organs around.
That's the body, man.
Good God, man. Jesus, that's disgusting.
What the shit is happening?
Yeah, poor Carol. So, according to the statement, David then described how he placed, he says that he placed her into, chopped the pieces of Carol into a gunny sack and a duffel bag.
Mm-hmm.
And he added 1 or 2 rocks to each of the bags. And, as weights.
Yeah. And
then went out between 3:30 and 4 a.m., to dump them in the lake.
In 4 hours, he got rid of a body.
That was, wow. He returned. Then he said he returned home and dozed off for a while. He said, quote, I felt like a big burden was off myself and my mother. So, you sleep like a baby, I guess, like that. Wow. If you could do that and then sleep.
I can't imagine.
Jesus Christ. So then he said he woke up at about 6:30 a.m., had 2 pieces of toast, and took the 2 bags because he didn't get rid of them yet. He just has the 2 bags of parts. He took a nap after he did it. Takes the 2 bags, which he had left near the garage, put them into his boat, and drove to Weaver Lake, where he submerged the bags in the water. And, wow. That is some shit.
That's a tale, man.
That is a fucking tale. I don't even know what to say about that, but, yeah.
Did he ask, do y'all still believe in the Lord?
So,
because fucking no.
Let's talk about the Lord a little bit. I'm not talking about anything with you, sir. He said when he got back to his room where he'd been sleeping, where his 3-year-old daughter was also sleeping, he said that he couldn't find her when he got back. She wasn't on the bed, and he thought that God had taken her.
Oh, boy.
Like beamed her through the beamed her up through the ceiling, I suppose. I'm not sure. Instead, he did find that she had fallen off the bed and was sleeping on the floor, like kids do sometimes. So the 3-year-old will flop on the floor. You'll find them in the bathroom. Who the hell knows where they are? On the roof sleeping.
They generally wake up and they're hysterical when it happens, but it happens.
It happens. I've heard, I've had my kids that fall out of a bed, you hear a big lump, and they're still sleeping on the floor. You're like, how the hell did they not wake up from that? It's a 2.5-foot fall, and they're just fine.
I heard the slide as my daughter slid off the bed, then the thump, and then the blood-curdling howls of a 3-year-old who could not imagine being on a floor after falling asleep on the bed.
What happened? How'd I end up here? My world makes no sense now.
It's just gravity, baby. It's fine.
What? Gravity? I got to worry about that, too? Oh, God.
Get back in bed.
It's so cruel. He said that he then knelt on the bed in prayer, contemplating, what was now what he called an incredible calm that had come over him. He said that the end of the world was coming, and he still believes the end of the world's coming. And even his friends have told him 1980 is the beginning of the end. So buckle up, Chief. It's coming.
It'll feel like it.
Yeah. They said that he was calm throughout the interview, occasionally became emotional, but he calmed down pretty quickly and get it together. He made a written confession, which he read, corrected, initialed, signed, the whole deal, all in on that. He said in this quote, "I have just had a strong feeling that Judgment Day and the end of the world is very close. Mount St. Helens is erupting this summer, and my mother's name is Helen, and I have this feeling from God that we all have to do what we can right now to bring all sinners together and look to the Lord for forgiveness." So he did this as like a beacon to other fuck-ups to gather with the official St. Helen of Mount St. Helens for the end of the world. What the hell is he talking about? Like, what is his theory exactly?
Somebody's world is over. I'll tell you that right now.
He's got like a what's that Kirk Cameron religious movie that they made?
Christ, I didn't watch it.
People get like, I don't know what's going on.
I only watched one, and it was the one
Family Guy made fun of it. Is the only reason why I know what it is.
Was it not Fireproof?
I have maybe one of those. Maybe, I don't remember.
I bet he's made several.
He says a ton of them.
Yeah, he has like Jesus Saves Christmas or something.
I think so.
I think it's Kirk Saves Christmas.
I think it's Ernest and Jesus Save Christmas. I think they did it. No, they didn't do it.
That's possible.
Can you imagine that?
That's good. I miss Jim Varney.
Jesus, come on. All right, Ernest, Jesus, hold on a minute.
Get in here.
Hold on a moment, Ernest. That's how they'd make him. I feel like in the movie. Oh, Jesus, every time I come here.
Oh, no.
So he says that, he needs to look to the Lord. He says, quote, "I love Carol very much, but I'm only one man.
Yeah.
And I have my weakness, and I'm praying to God now that I will be a servant for him, and he will look after me and my children and my mother and get us all back together in heaven."
So,
terrific.
Back home, right?
Yeah, right. Well, he said that he needed to repent for his sins and that the day of judgment might be close and that we all have to do what we can right now to, make this all work, he said, and look for the Lord's forgiveness.
Cool. Get in this cell.
Yeah, he said that I do hope that you find Carol's body. That way she can get into heaven.
Oh.
I don't know what the correlation there is. This is a guy who went to church once and was like, I know all about it, all right?
I got it now.
This is what Judgment Day is. Yeah. It's coming. It's about my mom and fucking mountains. And if your body ain't there, you ain't going to heaven, first of all. That's bullshit. Anybody, if you're cremated, no heaven. Ain't happening.
I did a once over on the Bible. I know so.
That's it, man. If she's here instead of here, you got to bury her. Otherwise, if she's here instead of here, God don't know about her. Can't find her.
How long is church? Hour and a half? You know what I mean? He learned it all.
Literally, it was a 1 week he went to church, and he's got all of these theories and things that he's totally misunderstood. Oh. It's like shit from he watched some TV show in the 80s, and he was like, all right, or in the 70s, and he's like, I think I get it now. Yeah. I watched what's her name in the Flying Nun show in the 60s, and I think I understand religion now. A detective here said that he talked about how frantic everything was in the home and everything like that. He said that David told his 3-year-old asked about where her mother was. Hey, where's mommy? And he told his daughter that mommy had a big owie and would be at the doctor for a long, long time.
Oh.
That's what he said.
How long?
Long time. She's 3. She'll forget eventually.
Right.
That's literally, he has no planning.
Right.
Like a kid's not going to remember their mom.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't I have a mom at one point?
Right.
Mom? What the hell are you talking about?
You said she had an owie. No. She'd be gone a long time. She's still gone.
I don't recall any of that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dear. I don't recall a thing. But Grandma's here.
Right.
Scoop a Cool Whip for you if you want.
You don't have a mommy. Read the Bible. There's another guy who didn't have a mommy.
That's right. Now put some Cool Whip in your whole milk and let's sit down and talk about Jesus.
How you are a disciple.
Yeah. So they talk about that there's a medical report about how she was dismembered and basically packaged for disposal in a lake because the officers, they got a search warrant for the house and the boat. David also agreed to take the detectives to Weaver Lake and show them the location where he dropped the bags so they could try to find him. They were looking for a number of items from the house and the warrant, including kitchen knives, kitchen drain pipe.
Yeah.
Things like that, serrated knives, fibers from the bathroom, things.
Take the P-trap.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, oh, boy.
Clothing from a hamper, boat trailer, pickup truck. Oh, man, because they need the garbage disposal as well. Jesus Christ. So they ended up finding that. They do find Carol, and her family was saying they weren't going to have a funeral till they found her. They said, we're going to find her, and we're not going to have a funeral till we do find her, because we're going to find her eventually, because we're not going to stop looking.
Good.
And they finally get to put her to rest, at least, not in the way they wanted, I'm sure, but
obviously
they get to, at least. Now, David is charged with first-degree murder.
Good.
He pleads not guilty by reason of mental illness. That's what he's going for.
I mean, I tend to believe him, but no.
Yeah. He says at one point, quote, listen to this quote. I think my mom was frightened over what I'd done and wanted to protect me, so she did as I instructed when the detectives talked to her. I began to like the detectives and trusted that they understood me. It never dawned on me that we would go to prison. While you were explaining how you fucking you parted your wife like a chicken and tried to put the fucking gizzards down the garbage disposal. While you were explaining that to 4 men with fucking badges and guns, you didn't think prison could be at the end of this.
No, they all believe in the Lord.
What the fuck? You knew exactly what was going on.
Don't you know about forgiveness, James? If you say your sins, it's cool.
Oh, Jesus, this is ridiculous.
Just say them.
Say it. There, now you're good. $150,000 is his bail for him. It seems like it should be more, even though he's not going to raise that anyway. Now, Helen's also arrested for murder.
Really?
She's just as much an accomplice as anybody.
Yeah.
He told her beforehand, and then she helped in the cover-up. That's murder. You're just as much in on as he is.
Just because you're too fat to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly. You're not physically able.
Right.
Her attorney said that she should be released. There shouldn't even be any bail because she presents no danger to the public. Okay. He said that she's a mother of 8 now. I guess one of them died, and a grandmother who has not been in adverse situations before. He said she has high blood pressure, and it'll only be worse for her to sleep in a jail cell. And they went, she'll be okay.
Yeah, she'll get better treatment.
She'll be fine.
Remember?
And if she's not, I don't know.
She asked for better treatment. We're going to give it to her.
She said I'd be better in jail.
Right.
Let's try it. Let's at least give her a chance to earn her correctness here. Now, prosecutors, their thing is they're going by what David said. David said that Carol had been overheard by the mother saying that she was going to divorce him and take the kids away. That was the whole thing. But her whole family says horseshit on that. Mm-hmm. They've never heard of that. They talk to her all the time. She's close with her mom. She's close with her sister. Yeah. That's who she'd be telling about that shit. So if that was true, those are the people she'd tell, and she didn't tell anybody that. The father said if there was a divorce, Ray said this, if there was a divorce, mom would have been the first to know. Which makes sense. This is where the world revolved for Carol, the kids, and David. Saying it's bullshit that this is to even bring that up. He said, this is the sister here, Phyllis. She says somebody who's going to get a divorce isn't planning a garden for the next year.
Good point.
So they were talking about that. She said that they were doing that. That's the mother. I'm sorry. They were doing this. They were planning on the garden in their last phone conversation, like 2 days before that.
Right. Turning over the earth for the next season.
Carol talked about what to buy her husband for his birthday, which was that Friday. Mm-hmm. So she was in this. She wasn't like, I'm going to plant a garden, buy him a birthday present, and then get the fuck out of here. That wasn't what she said, Like, come on. And also, it just didn't add up. Also, his daughter's purse here, Carol's purse, was recovered the same day, and the rings were inside the purse, like we told you, which is weird that she would just leave with the rings in the purse. Now, without the rings in the purse, her family also said they want, at this point, they're going for custody of the 2 girls.
Oh.
They don't want them to end up.
Where the hell else would they
That's
be
what
with
I mean.
Him? Fuck.
Or with his family,
Right.
God forbid. So, no way. They were the ones initially caring for them anyway, or they were initially cared for in a Hennepin County facility after the arrest, and now are in Duluth with one of his relatives. So they said, no.
Keep that in mind if you want to fucking kill your spouse. Think about when both of you are gone.
Yeah.
Where the fuck do your kids go?
Well, yeah, they should be with the Stebbins. They sound like really stable,
Absolutely.
nice people.
But think about that before they end up in the wrong hands.
No shit. Think of it. There's many more factors to think about. That's just one of them.
But I mean,
just one of them.
If you
nothing
can't
else
get past
gets it,
all the other shit.
If nothing else gets you going, hey, your kids are going to be miserable,
Right. Your kids are going to be super fucked.
Ray says, we'll fight it to the end. It's been a nightmare for them. They get all kinds of love here. Yeah, they're really good for them. Now, David in jail starts mailing letters out to people. His sister said that when she visited him in jail the day after he gave the statement, he appeared glassy-eyed. During the visit, he stared out the window toward the sun. And when he looked at the sun, he turned to his sister slowly and said that he felt his wife's soul ascending into the heavens now. Whoa. His friends now, some are going to testify for the defense, some are going to testify for the prosecution. They said that he was a nonviolent, calm guy who was a good friend, neighbor, father, husband, fucking car mechanic, lawnmower loaner, lawnmower borrower, everything. He was described as, quote, pretty normal but kind of goofy. Like joking about killing your wife, goofy. You know how that is.
How could you...
the goofy guy at the office.
Think about saying anything nice about this guy.
He said, well, this was before. They said he was easy. Everyone said that about him before this. Like, before Helen showed up, was like completely different human being.
Right.
They said easygoing, mellow, even-tempered, very much of a gentleman. One of the neighbors said friendliest neighbor on the block, which to me is a red flag right away. I don't want to hear that at all.
He's hiding something.
Oh, he's hiding something, or he just wants to talk to me. Either one is bad. Now, he does get a change of venue for the trial. It's moved out of this area because, trying to stuff your wife's organs down the garbage disposal will get you some publicity.
That'll get out.
The letter in jail, the first one's written to a lawyer. This is Stephen Doyle, who's defending his mother, Helen. Now, at this point, he is trying to take all the blame and say his mom didn't do shit. His mom didn't know what he was doing, had no idea what he was going to do before he did it. She never said it was for the best. He got rid of all that now to try to save his mom's ass, basically. So he says, Dear Steve, I'm writing in regard to my mother's charge involving her with the death. This is just terrible writing of my wife, Carol, on August 10th. I'm not trying to protect her because she is guilty, but because she is innocent. I would try to help anyone who I believe to be innocent, and I want you to believe this. I want you to believe she is. For many months, I had been asking my mother to move in with me and Carol to babysit while we worked, and I had pretty high financial debts, and she became very irritable when I would stop at my mother's house to mow the lawn or to fix things at her house. I was hoping that with Mom there taking care of the girls and us not having to get them in the morning to go to the babysitter, it would make it easier on our financial output, as well as making it easier getting up and getting ready for work, which is exactly what we said. My mom loved taking care of the girls, and it would be giving her some purpose in life rather than living all by herself in her lonely world. Carol had my mind in torment before my mother moved in. I was so frustrated with her that I had actually planned on drowning her while scuba diving. How frustrated are you? What do you have to do?
It's a lot of frustration.
I mean, honestly, that's not around the house shit. That's crazy. On 2 occasions this summer, we went diving and I had intentions on drowning her. But when the time came, we were enjoying our dives and my mind wasn't in the same state as when I was thinking of drowning her. We were having fun.
All the trouble is up above the water. Down here, this is great. Look at us getting along. We got no bills.
Under the sea. Under the sea. They're fucking singing.
We sang a song with a fucking sand crab.
It was awesome. It was so cool. And a bunch of other shit. And the conch shells were open and it was so cool. So, on August 19th, when I made my statement to detectives, I wasn't in my right mind. I had no idea I would be put in jail for killing Carol.
What a fucking lie.
Now, come on now. I don't care. Even let's give you the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. You're out of your mind.
Right.
You still know murder equals going to jail.
Right.
You know that.
Yeah.
Unless you're, I don't even know what you'd have to be, where your head would have to be to not understand that. You know that if you kill someone, you go to jail. No, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if you kill them and it was justified, there's a trial to make sure.
That's the thing.
Never even charge you for it.
Had no idea.
Yeah.
He said, I thought the detectives understood what strain Carol had put me through.
Mm-hmm.
I told them she's being a bitch, and I killed her, and I figured they'd be like, all right, yeah, we just wanted to make sure she was being a bitch.
Oh, she was a bitch?
Oh, no. Oh, she was a pain in the ass.
Got it.
Oh, you know what?
We got it.
We understand. Jesus, I don't know how you lasted this long. Sir, let me shake your hand. Allow me to shake your hand, because honestly, I wouldn't have lasted that long. I'd have killed her 5 years ago.
Acquitted on the grounds of frustration.
Is he out of his fucking mind? What strain she had put me through.
Maybe.
You mean you're married?
Right.
Imagine if everybody would be dead.
Yeah.
If it was legal to murder your spouse because they'd put you through strain. Oh my God.
10 years of that shit.
People would sleep with fucking machetes on their chest to ward off their spouse in the middle of the night. So,
The amount of times I went through a drive-thru with my ex-wife, and she'd be like, can you guys make a mudslide? And they're like, we don't have that. And she's like, yeah, but I used to work here. I know how to make... What the fuck don't you take a shift then, you asshole? Stop.
Do you work here now?
Berating a 16-year-old trying to make you a fucking ice cream.
Jesus Christ.
I will fucking put you to sleep. And the police in Minnesota, apparently I can get away with it.
Yeah, you can do that. How many times have I wanted to strangle people, Jimmy? Think about how much little bit of strain.
It takes nothing.
On the road.
There is grease on
There's
this
a whole staff in St. Louis that I would have been left in a blood trail behind me, because I was like, I said, actually, maybe that was my joke. I said, I'm going to kill one of these people. I'm going to. It's happening.
I'm not even going to give them
I'm
a chance
going to stab somebody.
Grease my cheeseburger bun.
No. I'm going to fucking murder these people.
I'll lose my mind. The little one wants you.
Oh, my God. Fucking... Okay, so before we end up in jail for murder, he says, quote, I thought the detectives understood what strain Carol had put me under, and it never hit my mind once that I would go to prison. Mm-hmm. My mother never realized I was going to hurt Carol, and didn't believe I could either. My mother was sleeping downstairs when I choked Carol. She said something to me and set me off in a rage, and I lost control of myself. Afterwards, I went downstairs and asked Mom to come up stairs and lay on the couch to prevent Heidi from walking up and going into the bathroom. I had to go downstairs and ask for a second time. I don't think she believed me the first time that I had killed Carol. My mother seemed to be in a state of shock. In almost 10 years of marriage, I had never hurt Carol or even argued back when she would violently lose her temper, which was quite often, which nobody else ever said. My mother had no control over my actions. Earlier that morning, she was looking in the newspaper for another house. She said she couldn't live with Carol when Carol was being so nasty to her and not welcoming her there. I can remember telling her to give a little more time, and maybe Carol would change her attitude. Why?
Your wife's not welcoming me in her house.
In her house when I'm fucking constantly berating her about whole milk and half and onions.
At the beginning of this thought and plan, it was probably a good idea of dropping the kids off with grandma.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fucking where else.
That's good.
That's helpful. This is not in my house, and you're a pain in the dick.
To have her just having a
leave.
bowl of half and onions in your kitchen, and you got to deal with this goddamn lady. So yeah, maybe she would straighten out. When I was dismembering my wife, he goes right from that to when I was dismembering my wife.
Jesus.
I felt I was driving the devil out of her, and what I did was best for my girls. Carol had a poor relationship with most of her family. Not true. Her family was
wonderful.
They came we see sometimes, like, they'll have a few people that support them, the victim in court. Right. And there's this is like the whole family came together and had one united front of, very rarely do families are they that amazing and come together like this. So it was really impressive.
They allowed you to marry their underage daughter.
That's the other thing.
They're amazing people.
They're pretty good people. And last summer, when her and her younger sister Linda quit speaking to each other like sisters.
Yeah,
my mother has 3 sisters, so I grew up with constant sister fighting.
Yeah.
She has gone through periods of not speaking to every one of her sisters at least a dozen times apiece, and I'm talking for 6 months at a time. I think right now, I swear to God, she's in the middle of one right now with one of my aunts.
I'm in a year and a half.
I'm not kidding you. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But she's still the ones that she'll end up their friend. It doesn't matter. Sisters do that. Sisters fight and they get back together. So that's not a thing here. They quit speaking to each other. Carol's anger and patience grew much worse. Over the past several months, she had been very abusive toward our daughter, constantly yelling threats and on 2 occasions hitting her hard on the back. I had a feeling she was possessed, and I had no control over her behavior.
Oh, boy.
You asshole. What a fucking asshole. You fuck, I hate this asshole now. He's full of shit.
Yeah.
If he just said, you know what? My mother drove me fucking crazy with this, and I went back and forth, and I have shit self-control and no fucking conflict management, and I snapped and killed my fucking wife because I'm a dumb shit asshole. Take me to fucking jail. I apologize to my children. I'd go, you know what? He had a bad day, and he said, that sucks, and I hope that doesn't happen to people. I don't like anybody getting killed. But to go like, oh, she's possessed, and her family hates her, and she hits our kid. Fuck you.
You know what? Go one further. I chose the wrong team. I'm a murderer. I should have just killed my fucking mother. She's the pain in the ass.
Yeah.
She's the cause
and
of all
she's
my
a heavy
fucking
set 65-year-old with high fucking blood pressure. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, she's got much less to go. Put a pillow over her fucking face and say, I don't know what happened. Right. I don't know, something. If you got to kill somebody, don't kill anyone, but if you have to kill somebody.
He's a murderer. He chose the wrong target.
Everybody, kill your mother if you have to kill somebody. No, that's not the right thing. That's not the right thing here. He also wrote his sister, Dolores, in jail here. And some of this is just, Jesus Christ. He said that, I'll just skip to a few of them. He said that, I do worry about myself, but I also think God is with me now. At least I feel he's taking care of me. I accepted God into my life when I went to the evangelical church on the 17th. I was so hurt, and then the next day is when he went and confessed, because he was like, oh yeah, God's got my back. It's cool. She was...
Yeah, on the 17th, he went to church. This all happened on the 10th and 11th.
Yeah.
How are you driving evil out of somebody that you don't even know what the devil is yet?
Well, he said, I was so lost that I thought I would die. I was missing the good side of Carol and then forgotten about that side, forgotten about the bad side of her. That night, I thought the end of the world was coming after the big storm we had, and I opened the window and I knelt on the bed with the window open, waiting for God to appear in front of me. Waited about 20 minutes, but he never came. I knew.
Gave the guy 20 minutes.
I waited about 20. Well, I mean, that's any appointment. You wait about 20 minutes at an appointment. Yeah.
But he didn't have an appointment. He was
like,
just.
If you have a job interview, you show up 25 minutes late, don't even bother. Just pull in the parking lot and leave. You're past 20 minutes. You're done. You're over.
They aren't giving you the job. You give somebody,
if you got a date, you're like traffic. 20 minutes is a traffic. It could happen.
But that's an agreed upon time. He just like opened the window and was like, Jesus, need a word with
Well, that's, I think he feels like, and then in 20 minutes they come. It's he's better than Domino's, basically, is what he's getting at. But 20 minutes, he's given up.
It's a hell of an assumption.
He says he waited about 20 minutes, but he never came. Quote, but I knew he was out there in the yard somewhere.
In
the yard.
Just wandering around. Maybe he's in the garden.
Jesus, we need to put a floodlight out there. Is there like a motion detector? Because I can't see. I know God's back there. I can't see him.
He might be out there tending to his hobby bees.
Got my flashlight. Do you know where the D batteries are? I got to find God. He's in the backyard.
We do have some nice tomatoes down there. I'll bet he's having a couple.
Yeah, maybe he's into the cherry tomatoes. And that the storm was a warning of the end of the world. This might sound pretty crazy to you.
No.
But for me, it's very real. I'll never forget, I'll never forget the love I had for her for so long. Since her death that night, I've released all the frustration I've had in my mind. I'm in something, you can't make out the writing, with God, and I've begged so hard to God to accept her into his kingdom that I know she's in a better life with God. I don't expect these men who try my case will forgive me, and I can't expect them to. God's the only one who can forgive me, so I pray to him. I tried hard to give Carol a happy life, but I'm only one man, and nothing I could do can ever bring her back. Well, you could have not killed her in the first place. It's not like she got hit by a truck that you weren't driving. Nothing that I could ever do could bring back the love she didn't have for the first 17 years of her life. She's saying she was miserable the first 17 years of her life. She always asked me if I loved her, as if she needed to be told that all the time. But she didn't treat me right most of the time, and I got out of the habit of telling her that each night before we fell asleep. I'm sorry I stopped telling her that. She must have been so abused at home that she was so starved for love and material things, because if I wouldn't let her buy the things she wanted, she would throw her temper and say I didn't love her. She wasn't this way every time we went shopping, but just when she decided that she had to have something. She was 17 also. That's called a fucking a child.
You picked up a relationship with somebody that can't.
When she was 16 and she really, she failed her road test, she had a real temper. Oh, sorry.
You're 25, man. That's what you signed up for.
Yeah, I'm not even going to read the. Fuck this guy. I'm not going to let him fucking say dumb shit.
He's in good favor with Jesus.
Yeah,
he murdered her.
I sure hope Carol can get in.
He's
though.
got a co-sign on her admittance.
I got to put her on the list. I'm going to tell the bouncer that she's cool, but I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not positive.
You got to pay her cover, you piece of shit.
Wow. So that's unreal, dude. Wow. That's insane. December 1980 is Helen's trial. Mm-hmm. David testifies on his mother's behalf that she had nothing to do with the murder. She had no idea that he was going to kill Carol. None of that. The prosecutor said, on the night of August 10th, you murdered Carol Hoffman. Is that correct? He said, yes. And you talked about it beforehand for months? And he said, yes. And you told coworkers and your mother of plans to kill Carol Hoffman? He said, yes. But she wasn't involved.
Right.
For the next 2.5 hours, they, grilled him and everything like that. They read the letters that we just read you in their entirety.
2.5 hours.
In court, those letters going out. If you're the jury, those letters are infuriating because I'm infuriated and I don't have to sit there and, I'm not looking at her family and, looking at this asshole who did this. So, and I'm pissed off. So he said that he wanted Helen to move in and all that sort of thing. And he said, my mom loved taking care of my girls. He said it would be giving her some purpose in life rather than living in her hell. And they repeated all that because he's trying to say that he was, a good guy. He's taking care of his mom. He tells also in court how much Carol had tormented him. And that he planned on killing her, but he didn't because, that whole deal about we were having a good time. And I didn't think my mother believed me about everything that happened with Carol and that I killed her and all that sort of shit. Helen testifies, too. Mm-hmm. She testifies 60 minutes. She did. She cried through the whole entire thing.
Of course.
She said that he said that when he was woken up, when she got woken up by her son, he said that he, quote, put her to sleep. Mm-hmm. Helen says, quote, I really didn't know what he meant. I didn't know how he would have killed her. She said that she wasn't sure what he meant by the comment and didn't know what he was doing in the bathroom when he was in there, when she was standing guard. She says now, he says, obviously we know what he was doing. She said, quote, I heard water running and I heard a sound like a razor shaving. Oh, Jesus Christ. She said
that's a terrible noise.
She said that she stayed sitting on the couch in the living room and kept her eyes shut while he was in the bathroom. She said, I just felt chills going through me. She said he asked her to stand guard. She also said, quote, if Carol was dead, I didn't want Heidi to see it because she might throw a fit or something.
I would hope so.
She might throw a fit. It's so inconvenient when toddlers see their dismembered mother. Right. They might throw a huge fit about it. You know what I mean? So
wild.
What the fuck? So, by the way, their kids, and it doesn't really matter, but their kids, several sources have different ages of the kids.
Really?
They're either 3 years old and 1 year old or 9 years old and 3 years old. I don't know which. I think it's 3 and 1 from what I'm gathering, but I don't know what the story is. So she said that she didn't see any blood. She said that basically what happened is he got back up there. She said she ate breakfast with the children, like David told her to, and then washed the bathroom, toilet and seat and tank cover. And she said, I didn't see any blood. So he somehow cleaned the bathroom immaculately without her help. In 4 hours.
Right.
Okay. He said, it's fucking ridiculous. She said she liked Carol also. She only had a problem with her once. She said after she moved into the home, Carol once told her to stay in the basement unless she was called upstairs to do babysitting.
Yeah.
Probably like, why don't you stay down there unless we need you, okay? Because you're a pain in my ass.
So down here's where you live.
It's probably in the middle of a fight.
Always.
Yeah. You got your TV. There's a shitter down here. Enjoy.
It's your place.
Yeah. So She said one time he said he felt like he could kill her because of the way she humiliates him in public. She said, and then she said that she didn't say that will be best for the kids. She said, no way. I didn't even know what was going to happen. I didn't know they were having so many problems. She said that he told her tonight's going to be the night. She believed her son was talking about making love to his wife. Why would he tell his mom that?
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, I'm finally going to give Carol a fucking business tonight. Oh, no, I'll give it to her extra hard for you, Ma. Fist bump. All right.
There's nothing grosser.
No, she said the remark occurred in Carol's presence when he came up behind her and put his hands around her waist. Like, tonight's the night. So it's even creepier if he did that in front of her without her knowing what he was talking about. I mean Carol by that. When the lawyer asked her why she didn't call the police, she said, quote, he was the only son I had. I had a hard time thinking of that. I squealed on a man who beat up someone once. He heard about it. Squealed. He heard about it, that meaning the man who she squealed on, and had another man hit me in the mouth. I lost my front teeth. So she's been retaliated against before. When during closing, her lawyer said, look at her. The killer of a mother of 2 kids. Do you really believe this woman would hurt anybody? That she would sit down and intentionally plan to murder his wife? And the jury goes to deliberation. This is December 18th, too. This is like 4 months later. Yeah. This is 17 hours of deliberation, and they say, yeah, we do think that. Guilty. Fuck her. Yeah. First-degree murder. She got first degree. First degree, yeah. She broke down in the court. They talked to the jury, too, and the jury said, they didn't. They said it's hard. It was a hard decision to make and everything. You sweat everything about it. We tried to find reasonable doubt, but we eventually decided we couldn't find it. It's very difficult to find someone guilty of first-degree murder. And, they said they were pretty much, they said, we just wanted to make crystal clear what intent was. This is one of the jurors. Like your typical conspiracy case, it was difficult to prove. The evidence was not that clear-cut, meaning whether she was involved in it or not and shit like that. They said, though, that they did not believe David's confession at all, and that was the problem. Or they believed his confession at the police more than they believed him in court. Right. Said this was way more self-serving. Now, during sentencing for Helen, her lawyer's saying she's not doing well. She's confused about the system and disturbed. She's very frightened, all this type of shit. Why don't you let her out of here? She suffers from high blood pressure. You're going to put this poor lady in prison. Mm-hmm. And they went, yeah, we are going to put her in prison. Fuck off. Life sentence.
Yes.
So you, ma'am, may fuck off. Life sentence for Helen. Mm-hmm. So there's that. Now, David, his trial comes up. February 1981, not guilty by reason of insanity. Prosecution basically brought up an array of problems that he's had, including sexual problems, money problems. He was mad at her family, all this type of shit. He's bringing up all these problems, saying that Carol had problems as well. She had problems with child rearing and money and all this type of shit, but trying to paint her as a pain in the ass that, I don't know, deserve to be dismembered, which is a really odd defense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's all he's got, so he's got to throw it all at the wall.
Yeah, he said that she rejected his advances, and he said that the next night after a pleasant evening, the lawyer said that she came to bed nude. And the lawyer says, this man sees this as a signal that she's interested in physical relations. Or it's August and she's hot. One of the two. We don't know.
Or that's how she sleeps.
It's August.
It's fucking comfortable.
It's fucking August, too. Think about that. It might have been a sticky night, that kind of night. Apparently, he persisted, and then that's what ended up happening. He said, Jesus Christ. How did we get Helen to his aid, unbeknownst to me and hopefully to you? Well, what's he talking about? How we get Helen as his aid in the killing is basically trying to say that she's, Right.
She didn't do it.
She did do it.
How he got it there is unbeknownst to all of us. It just happened.
It just happened, yeah. So they talk about this. They're trying to say that David's really a good guy. They're saying that the mother wouldn't help somebody and it wouldn't help him kill. The whole thing is crazy, basically. They're trying to say that his confession is literally crazy.
Yeah.
He was not in his right mind when he said it. That's the point of what he's trying to do.
He didn't do this. He's a lunatic.
Yeah, that's what it is. He said it's the whole thing. He said he was ready to pass out from getting no sleep, and his mind was not all together. Okay. And, it's the end of the world in Mount St. Helens, and it's too many onions. It's a lot going on right now. There's no half and half. He can't think properly. So his defense said that they portrayed her as a jealous, overbearing woman who was jealous of his mother and all this shit. Like, that's how they're trying to paint Carol. And he was depicted as a man torn between loyalties to his mother and his wife.
That's easy.
That's it. He said that for years and years he felt a special obligation to help his mother, and having to choose between his mother and his wife was just years of frustration, and it all came out at one time.
Wow.
Couldn't take it anymore. He said that he killed his wife in the heat of the moment about the sexual advances, and Helen had nothing to do with it as well. Said, when she said, "Why don't you go downstairs and fuck your fat mama," is when he said that the lawyer said that he was, quote, no longer able to control himself, and took the life of Carol Hoffman in the heat of the moment, an uncontrollable release of his frustrations. Your wife won't fuck you. Tough shit.
Right. He had to go, I'm sorry, you guys. I can't believe I just said that. I apologize, but that's all I have.
Has he ever seen a sitcom? I mean, right. It's pretty standard fare here,
pretty
dude.
Ridiculous.
Then he had the psychiatrist come in because he's got to say he's crazy. He says he had a guy say that he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Yeah. He had this Dr. Carl Malmquist, that was the prosecution's witness. He said that he diagnosed Hoffman as depressed after the killing, but didn't think he was psychotic or any of that shit. Another psychiatrist examined him, testified that he did not know if, while choking his wife, he knew his behavior was wrong, but that afterward he became irrational and lost his capacity for judging right from wrong.
Okay.
Completely.
All right.
Another psychiatrist said the first solid indications that he was acutely psychotic appeared when he tried to dispose of part of his wife's body in the garbage disposal. He said that he felt there was something evil about the body that the house was rejecting. That's why it wouldn't go down the garbage disposal. The pipes were rejecting the evil in a liver.
Holy
this gallbladder's
shit.
Evil, and our pipes won't accept it.
Or it's just a lot.
Yeah. Basically, they tried to also say, like, oh, he had a tough upbringing the psychiatrist had talked about his upbringing in the orphanage. And in cross-examination, the prosecutor said that if he was the only young man who grew up tough, worked his way through high school, who spent 2 years in an orphanage, the world is full of people who hold down jobs and don't commit heinous crimes. He said Carol grew up tough, too. She didn't try to solve those problems by killing you. It's like, that's fucking pretty good. Got him right there. So anyway, David testifies as well. He says that he made his confession. A lot of it was inaccurate. And here's what really happened. Blah, blah, blah. So prosecution closing, he says, quote, that he felt it was necessary to say that, quote, Hoffman will smile again, laugh again, hear sounds of music, and see the sunrise, and he will cry. Carol Hoffman will never experience another human emotion. Nice neighbors, good workers, fishermen are not exempt from the law. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he's a nice guy that everybody liked, but so was O.J. Right. But O.J. got off. And this guy, on the other hand, defense closing, he says, imagine being in this.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, he says, okay, this is his defense. This is a tough closing. Yeesh. He said, look, he's insane. He said, this is how you can judge it. And he tried.
I feel so bad for this guy.
This is not the legal definition of insanity, by the way, but he tried to put this in the juror's head. He said, look at it this way. Which is, it's full of shit right away.
He's like a guy that cheated on his wife, and he's got to explain
it. Look at it this way. Now it's out of my system, and we can start fresh.
We can go back.
Isn't that great?
Now I've had something that I didn't like.
Now
I appreciate you so much more.
Now we're being honest with each other. I've had sex with 26 other women. Now we're honest. Now we can.
All of them. There was no love in it. It meant nothing to me. Now I know what it's really like to have good emotional sex.
Now we can have a relationship.
Come on.
So
look at it this way.
He said, look at it this way. Compare it to the statement made by the United States Supreme Court on obscenity and pornography. Quote, I might not be able to define it, but I can tell you what it is when I see it. No. That pornography and insanity are very different things. Yeah. Yes, those are very different things. He said the very act of strangling one's wife when a child is in the room. By the way, 3-year-old in the room while this was all going, while the strangling happened. While one's child is in the room and later dismembering the body, pointed to a psychotic mind. He said people don't just react like that. He's obviously fucking crazy. Duh, basically. Look at this shit. And then he said he asked the jury to find him not guilty by reason of mental illness and said that it would be, quote, it's a courageous thing to ask the jury to do in the light of the facts in the case. He said that to find him mentally ill, quote, allows us to make sense of this horrible tragedy.
I get that this is ballsy as fuck, but give me the win.
Dude,
I'm a public defender.
Come on. I'm more obviously I've really thrown everything I got at the wall here to see what's going to stick. So help me out here.
I went to school for this shit.
Jesus, 7.5 hours of deliberations for guilty of first-degree murder. Yeah, the jurors were very torn about him, too. They really were. They said, one juror said that David was a good father, good husband, good neighbor, good friend. It's not like he was a mafia killer.
Right.
It's easy to convict someone who punches his wife and beats his wife up a lot, but not when it's just a snapping thing like that. They think, could I have done that? Literally.
Somebody check on that guy's wife.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, Carol's family, on the other hand, they're just the best fucking people. Ray said, quote, there is justice. It may be slow, but it's there. They sat through the whole thing, fucking did all of it here. This is what Ray says, by the way. Listen to this shit afterwards. Quote, I don't care what anybody says. David was still a good man and a good father. I don't have any animosity for David. I feel sorry for him.
Oh, Ray.
Dude, that guy's like, that's like practical. That's like what you would think Jesus would say. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't have to look for Jesus.
That is like,
Dave, it was your father-in-law.
Yeah. Like wow. That's,
I mean, sweetheart of a man.
I honestly get it.
I don't.
I get it.
I understand what he's saying and what he's doing, but as a father, I don't know that I would be so goddamn kind.
It's probably different as a father, I would think, but like you guys know, like my great-grandmother was murdered, and it wasn't in a nice way. It was in a real shitty way. She just tied up and beaten up and had her throat slit and the whole deal in her own home, and it was fucking horrible. And like, I get what he's saying, though. Like, it's not the person who did that also had a, like, not that it's an excuse, but this person, we know what happened. She was a woman, and she had a horrible life, and she was 20 years old and a crackhead and having a lot of fucking problems and all this shit. And clearly, now I'm not saying that person should kill anybody, but up until the moment of the murder, I feel bad for that person. Sure. And their life is still fucked up, and now it's exponentially more fucked up. So she's
a murderer, and she's got to deal with those consequences. Yeah. She's also still got to deal with the consequences that got her to that position.
And all of that shit. So I get it. It's like, and that's a person that he had love for. This is a person I don't even know. It's a stranger. So it's a person you have love for. I could see maybe it would be a little easier. But I mean, I get the sentiment like that, where you're like, well, hating that person, even though I hate that person, doesn't help anything. It doesn't make my anybody more alive.
Yeah, Ray bought him Christmas gifts.
That's what I mean. He knows him. So he's had drinks with him. Right. Now, sentencing for David here, you, sir, may fuck off. Life in prison for David. No, people serving life sentences here are to be considered for parole after serving 17 years.
Oh, good Lord.
So then it comes up every few years. So 1981, Helen appeals on certain things that she shouldn't have been charged with murder in the first degree. It should have been manslaughter, and she was never tried as that, and it was never given as an option. So that works, though.
Yeah.
That works, and we'll find out what happens here. That floats in limbo for years and years. 1981, there's insurance money. Carol's insured for $20,000. Okay. But since David was convicted, the company was in court trying to figure out who to pay. We think the children are the ones who ended up getting it, which I hope they would.
Well, they went to a trust or to Ray?
Something, yeah, to take care of them. Because it's expensive to take care of kids. 1994, parole chance for David. This is the first chance then he would be released 2 years later.
Good Christ.
First parole hearing, Commissioner Frank Wood of the Corrections Commissioner here, Frank Wood, determined Hoffman was, quote, still a serious risk to others and denied his request. Mm-hmm. Yes. Reaction was, Carol's sister, Catherine, said, when we have to relive this over and over and over again, the hurt comes back so strong. Yeah, I would think so. Now, Helen is also up for parole there. Helen is granted parole mainly due to her horribly failing health at this point in time.
She's in her 80s now.
She's 80 years old here, and she is pretty much immediately placed in a Duluth nursing home where she dies shortly afterwards in 1994.
Suck it.
She was, she didn't want to be buried or cremated. She wanted to be chopped up and stuffed down the... No, I'm just kidding. That would have been appropriate, though.
I hope they fed her a nice diet of half and half with a nice head of Cool Whip.
Only getting 1%. That's it. You're getting 1% milk, no Cool Whip, nothing. 2000, David's up for parole again, and they say, this is the commissioner now, that Hoffman was a, quote, told Hoffman that he, quote, had a blind spot in your thought pattern that prevents you from recognizing the enormity of what you did. Fucking denied. Yeah. So he's still there. Reaction to that, Carol's family produced a video later on for the next one, urging people to sign a petition that would keep him locked up for good. Like, they really, whenever there's a parole hearing, her whole family shows up. They write letters. They show support. That's really
exhausting.
Fuck this guy. I know, for them.
Poor people.
I know. He said, Rogers Stebbins said, quote, when the judge said life, that's what it meant as far as I'm concerned. And the sister Catherine said she didn't get to see her daughter walk down the aisle and get married. She didn't get to be there for her 3 grandsons.
Aww.
So that's sad as shit. Jesus, man. Now, friends of David say that he's been a model prisoner and is remorseful for what he did and should receive parole. 2010, he's up for parole again, and they talk about his vicious and sadistic crime. And in a statement, they say that he has, quote, not yet met all directives given to him in his previous review, and it would be 6 years before reviewed again.
How do you not get your shit done?
You got nothing else to do. Relatives of Carol had been still trying to keep him in there. Her mother, Phyllis, said, quote, it was a relief. And she called that one a little closure on the nightmare for now. And they said that, they said he doesn't show any remorse still. And, why would we let him out? They said, quote, we know that in another 6 years we're going to have to fight this all over again. But as long as he's in prison, he can't hurt anybody. The brother, Carol's brother, Roger, says Carol was a sweet person. Part of our heart went the day she went. So, Jesus Christ, her brother said she did not deserve to die that way. Fucking obviously. Good Lord. David Hoffman still there. Her mother says, I do not want him let out. I do not want him let out. Good. I would think not. So the family says another 6 years doesn't surprise me. Another 10 years wouldn't surprise me. It was a vicious crime that should never have happened. A couple years ago, I thought maybe there was a chance at 30 years that he would get out. And the sister said that his sister, Hoffman, David's sister, said that his brother has shown remorse and said that he's been in there for 30 years. It's a total lie that there's been no remorse. Anyway, 2016, parole up for again. The family continues to try to stop it. They were there. They got a petition on a change.org petition with 578 signatures before the parole meeting, and gave that to the parole board. 5 family members pled their case to the parole board for the 5th time as well.
It should not take that many.
Man, I'm telling you, plus all the signatures.
Poor people.
Her niece said we shouldn't have to go through this again. It shouldn't even be an issue. He shouldn't have a second chance. Carol never had a second chance. We're terrified not just for us, not just for our family, but terrified for the public. Which I don't think he's going to be like on the street killing people, but I just wouldn't marry him.
He's in his 60s now, right?
Yeah. Phyllis, the mother, said, I'd be afraid I'd be the first one he's going to come after because we kept him in there. Then later on that afternoon, they find out that he is granted parole.
No.
Yes, he is released, supervised release in 2018, but that was only for a little while, and by now he should be completely untethered.
Unbelievable.
And free. The family still keeps this going, and they still keep Carol's memory alive. There's a Facebook page called We Speak for Carol, and that's their family doing it. It's got like 152 people on it. That's not nice. Very much. So if you guys do that and go on there, please be very respectful.
Obviously.
And don't be like, don't say any of quote jokes and shit. Just say we're sorry.
Quote the show. Don't fucking don't swear.
No, just
we don't know.
Be nice. We don't know them.
They're from Minnesota. They're kind-hearted folks.
They seem like nice people. So do that. And
I feel bad for Ray.
Don't you? You feel bad for the whole damn Phyllis, the whole family. I feel bad for these
Ray
people.
Is still trucking and
Me too.
living a strong Minnesota life.
Be up there in age, but I hope so too. So that, everybody, is Corcoran, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, you can tell us and the rest of the world by getting on Apple Podcasts, that purple icon. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Who really cares? Tell us your favorite. What, Jimmy?
Fruits.
Fruit? Yeah. You know what? I do want to know. Maybe
about kumquats.
Maybe you'll come up with something different. I haven't tried yet. So different kind of fruit. Do that.
I'm mad that 600 signatures and a whole fucking family saying this guy sucks.
Not enough.
Not enough for a parole board to agree.
I agree. I think it's bullshit myself.
That's unbelievable.
I don't care for that too, because I feel like, I don't know, man. It's one of those things.
That's a horrible murder, James.
I feel like he wouldn't have been in there for 40 years if the family wasn't so vocal, because what happened wasn't like a pattern of violent behavior culminating in a murder.
Right.
It was a one-time. That's one of those where I don't believe he's probably going to kill anybody else unless it was a situation that built up like that. Like, I don't think he's going to... he's going to walk up. He's not going to break into people's houses and murder them while they sleep.
His fat mama's not there.
Probably
for
not.
her to insult him.
That's the other thing. So, but at the same time, what he did was fucking repugnant.
It's horrible.
To have the capacity to cut up a person.
Right.
This is what I mean. Whether you think he's going to or not, to have the capacity to dismember someone you love, mind you, and try to stuff their organs down a fucking garbage disposal.
That's a lot.
Coldly dump them in a lake and then call the cops and go, I don't know what happened to my beloved Carol.
Right.
There's that you have the capacity for bad shit. So at that point, maybe keep him in there for as long as you want.
That's maybe my point, is that it's not like he got blackout drunk, accidentally hit a pedestrian.
Yeah.
The man calculatedly dismembered a body.
Let's say they got in a big fight that was over days and built up and all this, and he fucking strangled her.
Yeah.
And then he went, oh my God. And he called the cops and said, I just strangled my wife. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. That would be somewhere where you'd look, maybe in the future in parole, you'd look at him for mercy because he didn't try to cover it up.
Yeah.
He immediately felt remorse. Oh my God, this is horrible. That would be something different. But when someone does it, then tries to cover it up in the most disrespectful fucking way possible, and then just like, I'll just go on with my life.
Eesh.
That's wild, man.
That's a dangerous man.
Anyway, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything small town murder and crime and sports. Nicole Bobick on crime and sports, which was a Olympic figure skater.
Oh boy.
Looks like a Barbie doll, and until she started distributing meth, and then she looks a little bit different.
Not hot.
So check that out there. Every week we do crazy, crazy stories, of course, and also get all your merchandise there. Tickets to live shows that are getting lined up for next year. Everything at shutupandgivememurder.com. Also listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie on Fridays. Check that out. If you want to follow us on social media, very easy to do that. We're at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. Find us all over there. What else here? Oh, yes. If you want to be a producer of the show, not only will you get Jimmy completely fucking your name up, which will happen so many times, that's going to be there. He'll mess your name up. On top of that, you'll also get access to all the bonus material, which is really the point of the whole thing.
Right.
And you'll get so much cool stuff. Last week was the Goodnight Sugar Babe documentary. We talked about that and how disturbing those people were.
Do you know what I found out about that also? Is that Crips, that they're members, it's not what you think.
I'm sure it's not.
CRYPTS. That's what they think.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
I swear to you.
But they still wear blue.
Right.
So they're like a GoBot Crypt.
Yes.
Crip. GoBot Crip is the Crypts.
They think the T is silent, James.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Hillbilly gangsters.
That's wild. So check out that hillbilly gangster bullshit. We also talked about Action Park, the Northeastern Park with the documentary, but we talked about all the stuff that wasn't in the documentary that's honestly more entertaining. Like that ball we talked about in depth, and the fucking paintball, all sorts of crazy.
All the different rides.
Yeah, there's the dune buggies that sprayed gasoline in your mouth and eyes.
And the old man's son shooting a kid that fell down with tennis balls and going,
This is great. This is good. He goes, this is great. Right in the nutsack, he goes, it's great. So listen to that. It's a lot of fun. You can get all of that, and every other week you get episodes, bonus episodes. Patreon.com/crime and sports. Anybody above the $5 level. And if you just want to be a good person, have good karma, and get your name butchered, you can do that as well over at PayPal using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. That said, Jimmy, I know what I need. I don't even think, what do I need? I need to hear the names of the greatest goddamn people in the world who would never, ever, ever try to stuff any parts of us down a garbage disposal. Hit me with them, Jimmy.
This week's executive producers are Michelle Riley, Fun Malayo Iboda. Don't look at me, man. I'll never be able to pronounce. Listen, and they donated both ways. Thank you so much.
Jesus, thank you so much.
Clay Thorson also, Melissa Turner, Brooke Crawford, Jordan Bennett again, David Dorito, Amanda Hallikananen, nope, Farrah Khan, Wriggles McTiggles, Zachariah Brady, Claudia Parks, April Penny, Amanda Lucas, Brian Kinney, Kyle Carson, Jenny Linen, Becky Pantuso, I think that's Italian panties.
A little bit, yeah. Like Ernie Ernie Pantuso from Cheers.
Cynthia Munford, Drew Bittner, Monica Fife, William Wright, and Natasha Patel. Patel. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. We can't do it without you. Other producers this week are Catherine Brown. Is that what I wrote? Yes, it is. Jake Caldwell. Anthony with no last name. Destiny with no last name. Diana with no last name. Jerry with no last name. Stephanie Pescioni, I think. Lydia Plant. John DeLong. Ellie Hennessy. Adam Thomas. Joseph Morris, Louis Hodgson, Carl Kirshner, Peyton Meadows, Kim Hagan, Michael Peterson, Lindsey Johnson, James Martyr, Michael Bullwinkle. I don't know what I wrote. I apologize, Michael. Kevin Howell, Oriana, what? Yeah, Oriana Natsis, I think. Tom Payne's hand towel, which is a disgusting hand towel. Warren Taylor, Susan Olgis, and Rosanna Aerosmith. Happy birthday. I don't think that's her last name. Is it? Maybe.
Maybe.
I may have just ruined that. I apologize. Taylor Miles, Rodney Montgomery, Daniel Goldberg, Canis Lupus, I don't know. Ryanette, Gadzuk, at Decal Wolf. He's on Instagram if you guys care to follow him. Sunshine with no last name. Amelia Chady, Simone McElroy, and Adam Teetlebaum, Liz Leatherland. Amy Pohanik's birthday was last week. Happy birthday, Amy. Austin Adkins, Drew Jacobs, Ian Woodhams, Valerie Martin, Michelle Mixel. Happy birthday. Sarah Kalin, and Naomi Zalouf, happy birthday. And she just got married too, I think. I think that's true. M. Zap, is that Nap? What did I do? Bap? Rap? Shit. I apologize. Sandy Sakanyabo. Sakiyabo? What am I doing? Allison Kessler, Ben Brickius. I don't know. Megan Lee, Janice Hill, Michaela Kirk, Kimberly Charles, Matthew Parcell, Brittany Nyman, Jade Renee, Kevin Conker, Steve Uno, Dennis Zimmer, Diana Martin, Kat, what is this? Katzakian? Matthew Walk, Jessica Conford, Katie Medwid. What did I do? God damn it, Medwick. No, Sean with no last name. Sheridan Robb, Nolan Hammer. Probably heard Hammer time so many times. I think so, yeah. I apologize, Nolan. Courtney with no last name. Katarzyna Niegzolka. I'm getting real good with that one. Caitlin McBroom. Tony Arzaga. No, I think. Barbara Dillon Schneider, Danny Napier, Sue with no last name, Becky Leach.
Hey, you're trying hard. I'm doing. That's all that matters.
So terribly. Angie Quigley, Catherine Glancy, Robin in Seattle, Steve Schnell. Congratulations again, Steve. Virginia Rhodes, Brian Jameson, Kia with no last name, Rachel Megger, Luke Molsom, and happy birthday, Shay Molsom. That's his wife, I think. Daniel Hefty, Adele with no last name, Samuel. Nope, that's
just
Simon.
Adele. Thanks, Adele.
Yeah, she's terrific. She makes albums. They're amazing.
Yeah, very pretty.
Simon Sarchan, I think. Ahmad Mohammed, Ashley Vio, Brendan Abels, Logan Wells, Shannon Rothwell, Emily Tidy, Dirt R, Rohan Bajaj. I don't know. I'm so bad with ethnic names. I'm such a piece of shit.
He was just saying how the not a lot of tough names to pronounce this week. He was like bragging before he started.
This is going to be so easy. Rohan Bajaj. And I love that guy.
Yeah, I get you.
He had a heart transplant.
And
the guy's amazing.
Yep, good dude. Still, doesn't matter.
Still, your name,
fucked it up.
Your name fucks me every time. Amanda Emling. Nope, that's Adam Zyweek. Marco Ailman. Fuck, now it's going to... Okay, Jessica Hadelan, no. Tim Hewitt, Brianna Moreno, Amanda Weimeyer, Lauren Ebert. See, even the easy ones. Emily Dyson, Brittany Slaby, Amanda Moore, Stephen Webster, Austin Wilson, Erica Schaefer, Krista Weimer, Michelle O'Connor, that's Colin Mitchell. Randy with no last name, Kyle Allingham, Mona Flores, Patrick Mink, Sharon Gerard, Gerard, Tipsy Scoop, John Mooney, Ginger Giant, Tim Haley, Brady Britt. Yep. Brian. Hey. Nope. Yeah. Brian Shearer. Mark Hatlin. Chance and Heather Harmon. Jake Van Natta. Amy Mathis. Rhett Stubblefield, Elizabeth Dixon, Tara Cameron, Candy Morton, Garolin, Emig, Elizabeth Moore, Will Evans, Jose Sastry, Rohan Raspel, that's Rajpal, Samantha Sharkey, Guinevere, I think that's what that is. Angela, that's Angel Tejada, Catherine Powell, Michelle Bellinger, Oh God, it's Mason. All right. Cynthia David, Dita Vasquez, Robert Burks, James Herr, Jeez Shabazz, Jen Graga, Alyssa L, Kyle Whitley, Shannon Watterson, Alexis Mullen, Christina A, and she's got a birthday. No, it's an anniversary.
Well,
with her boyfriend Ivan.
Happy anniversary.
She gloated about how amazing this guy is. Said his name once. I don't think he's that great. What do you think?
Probably not. I don't think so.
Get your shit together, Ivan. You got things to do. If she can't
I think you're as good
said
as
your
she
name
says
once.
You are.
You're not that great. Cheryl Postner, Sean Kraft, Margaret Person, Method Man. That's supposed to be one word, bud. Wes with no last name. Carrie Ann Sandine, Kyle Whitley. I think I said that. Kata Hubbard, Chad Christopherson. God damn it. Paul Barrett, Tony with no last name. Kyle. Nope, that's Allie Payne. Bonnie DeMeo, Rachel Bailey, Sophia Gorey, Kristen Payne. I said that. John Webster Boy. What? Lobster Boy. That's what that says. Christina Cost. I wrote that because it's just his first name, and I had to remember it one way or another. Dominic Villanueva, Marlene Whitmer, Rachel Bailey, Clayton Fasts, Jeremy Nichols, Greg Sims, Amber Dams, Hayden Torrens, Chris Reed, Aaron Pierce, Chris Ranieri, Yarla Fox, Slay Del Val, what? Adam Sano, what am I doing? M. Tulin, Devin DeMarco, Tim.
Deep breath, Jimmy.
I know. Tom Tech, what is this? Tech Royce? Teacher Rissis? Nope. Marcus Polittle, Jalen Lawson, Dee Dee Carter, Mark Spakowski, Caitlin Leinart, Mike with no last name, Justin Lyons, Haley Buck, Andrea Gorell, I said Caitlin Leonard, Andrea Van Dyke also, Ian Thomas, Lady Rachel Van Corin, Pam Johnson, Radina Strong, Chad Long, Morgan Uberti, Ethan Walkowitz, what? Walkowitz?
What a disaster.
Spencer Ruff. Omri Paleo, Eric Wagoner, Mike Clark. I just choked on 4 words. Dennis Prather, Neil Annis or Anus. I'm
sure
Neil.
It's Anus. Neil Anus is probably his name, I'm sure.
I'm sure it is. Gwen Steele, Macon, B, what? Christina Ricks, James Daly, Tracy Kidd, David Rhodes, Erica Schwartz, Brandy Wagner, Dan with no last name, Bastian Drobick, Tyler Williford, Kathy Helfers, Harry Balls, probably not, Tammy Duties, Jimmy Chambers, I'm One Off, Jack Cornelius, Corey Eugene Kuhn, James Halstead, David Finley, Pamela Greenlee, Ross Hetherington, Chris Hedges, nope, that's Hughes. Grim Karen, Lindsay Stilling, Charles Haggerty, Eileen Kokish, Stephanie Donaldson, Stephanie Fletcher Scott, Spence with no last name, Lulu Mimi, Blaine the Undercover Mexi Valdezi. What?
Wow.
Stephanie Fletcher Scott. I said that. Melanie Raganud. No. Casey Melhouse, Rico Suave. Probably not. Matt Romberg, Katie Pratt, Brooke Dover, Ben's sister, obviously. Chris Anderson,
Clearly.
Lindsay Martin, Kimberly Baum, Greg Todd, A. Guerra. Yes, Guerra. That's my ex-wife's maiden name. It means war. And then she lived up to it. Delia M. Jason. Nope, that's Jesse Hall. Melanie Somerville. John Walker. Jeff. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Ruprecht. Probably not. Matt Westmoreland. What is this? Pangamini. Natalie Heverin, Patrick Marshall, Melanie Somerville, Paul White, Abby Piper, Deidre Rasmussen, Travis Allenbaugh, Lauren Bedrosian, Michelle Reese, Corin Rocha, Morris Warren, Rebecca Bell, Melissa Milne, Lindsay Wines, Ali Aki, Tony Vaughn, Catherine Blumenberg, Sharina Sweeney, Christina Daniels, Jason McFadden, Eric Downing, Kathleen Hansard, Maria Jagir. I don't. She's got a fucking character over an E. There's no way I'm getting that.
Yeah,
right.
That's going to be
Brandon Kopp,
pushing your luck there, people.
Joe Tossell, Jason Allen, Michael McCoy, Kelly Walsh, Chris Sluss, Anthony Dodd, Rachel Sarginger, Lois Taylor Randall, Devin Donahue, L with no last name, Cheryl Rich. Or is it Sherry L? Chelsea with no last name. Abby McBrayer. Nick Parmenter, I think that's right. Selena Schmidt. No, Schmiditka. Haley Richardson, Jorge Torres, Nicole with no last name, Chloe St. Clair, Donald Dalton Moat, Rachel Lynn, Jason with no last name, Stephen Guidry, Rachel, nope, that's Michael Kogut, Paul Christensen, Michael Glidden, Mikkel, I don't know, Carissa Sanchez, Emma Tello, Lydia Plant, Julie Elling Hewson, there's no way, Devin Wilson, Stephen Wolf, Jimbo Bojangles, Dan Zinke, Caitlin Logan, Paolo Gilly, Jeremy Spoljeric, God damn it, Caitlin Logan, Peter Eilette, Dan Zinke, I said that, Madalena Weber, Brandon Wilson, Chandra Hildebrand, Sculler TD, nope, Amber Bolo, Luke Guthrie, Catherine Lesniak, Kara Joseph, Orna with no last name, Nicholas Rusno, Clara Zuthen, Vanessa Costner, Melissa Mead, Melissa Lander, Ryan Schlosser, Kara, nope, that's Clara Zuthen, I said that, Nicholas Rosenew, Carolyn Lesniak, Aaron Barchert, Jackie Curie, James Richardson, Allison McDougall, Pierre Normand, Samantha Ben, Louise Donovan, Kelly Delzarina, Chehalis Thomas, Karen Rogowski, Stephen Russell, Joshua Steiner, Gabriella with no last name, Michelle Kidd Tackaberry, Michael Kalapi, Corey Southard, and then all of our patron supporters, obviously. That's that's obvious. Eric Bogan, Josh Cole, Lauren Whitworth, happy birthday. And then that's from Ellen Fazakerly. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for us. Also, just to let you know, shout outs are read on your initial donation and then every PayPal donation. Thank you guys so much for what you do for us.
Thank you, everybody, so much, honestly, from the bottom of our hearts. You guys, it means the world to us that you would give us a cent, and every cent really means something to us and goes a long way. So thank you. We really appreciate it. Right. And, just can't appreciate you more. Jimmy, what if anybody appreciated you? How can they find you?
You can appreciate me on the internet. I'm around there. You'll find me.
We're on there.
We did this to build an audience, and it's really worked. And it's hard to fucking force myself upon you guys anymore. It almost feels.
Well, we're forcing them a lot. It's hours a week.
Where can they force themselves on you?
I'll force myself on you. I'm at Jimmie P is funny. Just copy and paste my last name and you'll figure it out. We're on there.
You see our names.
That said, thank you guys so much for everything. And you know what we're going to do?
Yeah.
We're going to come back next week.
Hell yeah, we will.
What about that, huh?
Us and Jesus. We're coming back.
Everyone will be back. Until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.